and then there's other players having to push Hesse away from him. All that does is add pressure to the penalty taker, Charlie Adam. I mean, players should just know, if he's not, then this player is. I don't get how it just puts pressure on your own teammate. And then Charlie Adam, I think he's wimped out. He's gone for the easy side foot to the keeper's right, which has been saved, rather than doing what he's good at, which is getting his laces through it and smashing it in the back of the net and getting his teeth. But how vital could them 2 points miss be for Stoke?
Could be. Dean, thank you very much. Stoke 1, Brighton 1 is how it finished at the Bet365. Palace beaten 3-1 here at Everton. West Ham beat Watford 2-0 earlier. Spurs 1, Arsenal 0. Still to come on TalkSport, commentary from the Premier League of Man City, Leicester 5:30. The only national radio station with commentary of that is this one, TalkSport, as Stoke stay in the bottom 3 and Swansea go up to 15th. Let's go around the grounds in the Sky Bet Championship. All the full times are coming up, by the way. Let's go to Molineux first of all. How did the leaders get on? Nigel Pearson.
Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1. The leaders held on in the end because Queen's Park Rangers had chances late on. Wolves had to clear a shot off the line in the 90th minute, and credit Ian Holloway's side for the part they played in a pretty entertaining battle here. Joyek had a good save from Ruddy late on as well. They really did have a go, Queen's Park Rangers, and Wolves, I think it's fair to say, have survived a bit of a scare this afternoon. They went ahead in the 12th minute, and Dye bundled home after a lovely ball in from Cavallero. The lead was doubled 8 minutes later. Helder Costa's finish after Cavallero's ball in was superb, and Cavallero really did have an excellent first half in particular. And then 5 minutes into the second half, Queen's Park Rangers got themselves back in the game. It was a Connor Washington overhead kick, scrappy from Wolves after a header had been blocked. Washington's overhead kick, and you could sense that Queen's Park Rangers were well and truly back in it, and Wolves were on the back foot. But credit the Wolves side, this is why they're league leaders, this is why they're well clear. It wasn't a vintage display in the second half, they were far from dominant. Queen's Park Rangers really pushed them hard, but Wolverhampton Wanderers held out and got 3 more valuable points in the ultimate aim, the bigger picture of winning the championship and getting themselves into Premier League football come August. Full time in front of 30,168. This place is ready for Premier League football. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
Elsewhere, just below Wolves, well, they're miles clear. Below Wolves, though, Cardiff held last night. Derby held today at Pride Park. Jeff Peters.
Yeah, Derby 1, Norwich 1, 2 in-form teams couldn't be separated. The Championship's top scorer, Matej Vidra, fired Derby into a 12th-minute lead, his 17th in the league this season. Norwich should have levelled just before the break, but Nelson Oliveira took a weak penalty, which Scott Carson easily saved. They got another spot kick with 18 to play. Oliveira upended by Huddleston. The ref could have played an advantage as Leitner went on to score, but he whistled early. The impressive James Maddison took responsibility after Oliveira's early miss and sent the keeper the wrong way to level. Decent game, fair result. Derby 1, Norwich 1.
And it's just finished at the Macron, actually. Michael Waydock.
Bolton Wanderers 1, Fulham 1, the full-time score here. The whistle has just gone in the last few moments. A really entertaining encounter, this one. A plethora of chances for both sides, who will probably be satisfied with a point, although both had opportunities to win it. First goal of the afternoon came after just 4 minutes. Matt Targett, on loan from Southampton, a close-range header after a good Ryan Sessegnon ball in from the left-hand side. A touch from Lucas Pirzan, and Targett put the Cottagers into the lead. Bolton responded. Their first shot after 18 minutes through Zach Clough. He had another one on the half hour, and then was part of an attack 4 minutes before the break, which saw Josh Vela cut in from the Bolton left and have his shot saved from Bettinelli. Into the second half, both sides made changes, and it was the changes made by Phil Parkinson that paid dividends. Adam Lafondra came on 90 seconds later, a long ball forward and a wonderful volley, and they were singing Adam Lafondra, he's a wanderer. The Trotters were level. A good 20-minute spell for Bolton Wanderers then, a load of chances before Fulham came into it with the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game. Kenny should have won it in stoppage time, but it's finished at the Macron Stadium. Bolton Wanderers 1, Fulham 1.
Now, stand by for something special. Let's round up an incredible 90 minutes at Ashton Gate. TalkSport's Lawrence Mora.
Oh my goodness, Bristol City 3, Sunderland 3. Football is absolutely crazy and it's absolutely wonderful. Bristol City 3-0 up. To say it could be 6-0 would be not an exaggeration. Flint and a Dijon double had the home team in cruise control. I don't even have time to list all the big clear-cut chances that they made before and after half-time, but they came and they went. There were olays from the home fans as the visitors were just chasing shadows. Then a Josh Brownhill own own goal on 71 minutes looked at consolation. Bristol City missed more chances. Aidan McGeady fired home on 80 minutes. Bristol City missed more chances. 2 minutes before the end, Frank Fielding, the Bristol City goalkeeper, pulled off an unbelievable save from Ashley Fletcher, and Bristol City didn't heed the warning. Deep into injury time, Lua down the right, brilliantly got to the byline, fired in across it, hit Marlon Pack, and ended up in the back of the net. Absolutely incredible. City say 6th, but could this be the catalyst for Chris Coleman? Well, they'll need this fighting spirit as they try to stay in the Championship. All over at Ashton Gate, Bristol City 3, Sunderland 3.
I'll tell you what it all means for the tables after we bring the full times very shortly. But let's round up what happened today in the Championship at Griffin Park. Tony and Chenzo.
It finished Brentford 1, Preston 1. All the main action came in the second half. Preston took the lead on 54 minutes when Tom Barkhuizen's cross shot from the left dipped and then drifted in at the far post. But 8 minutes later, Florian Josefsson with a Brentford equaliser, lashing home from the edge of the box after good work by Henrik Dalsgaard. And Preston finished with 10 men. Greg Cunningham sent off for his second yellow card in the 74th minute. Brentford 1, Preston 1.
And what happened to the Riverside? TalkSport's Graham Courtney.
It finished Middlesbrough 2, Reading 1. Not a bad game in the end, actually. Scrappy opening 45, turned on the 43rd minute with a bit of quality from Adama Traore. Collected the loose ball in the corner of the Reading box, and he's dodged round his markers, let fly and put the ball past Vito Manone. 2 gone in the second 45. Repeat performance, really. Adama Traore, rocket of a shot. Terrific finish, it really was. That's his third of the season. On the hour, the Borough with Grant Ledbetter, they hit the post. But in the 78th minute, Chris Martin got Reading back into the game. 20 yards out. Bit of a hit and hope, really. Through a crowd of players in the back of the net, made it 2-1. 81st, well, Borough did get a penalty. Traore, now he won it. Chance for him to take it and get a hat-trick? No chance. Brittason Bolonga pulled rank, took it, skied it. Shocking penalty. Anyway, the Borough stay 9th. Reading, they are 18th. Reading just 1 win in their last 11 league games. They're in trouble, only 4 clear of the drop zone. 23,500 at the Riverside. Finished Middlesbrough 2, Reading 1.
Match day live on TalkSport. Full-time classifieds. Premier League.
Everton 3, Crystal Palace 1. Man City Leicester 5:30 kickoff is coming up live here on TalkSport. Stoke 1, Brighton 1, Swansea 1, Burnley 0, Spurs 1, Arsenal 0, West Ham 2, Watford 0.
Sky Bet Championship.
Barnsley 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Bolton 1, Fulham 1, Brentford 1, Preston 1, Bristol City 3, Sunderland 3, Derby 1, Norwich 1, Ipswich 0, Burton 0, Middlesbrough 2, Reading 1, Nottingham Forest 0, Hull City 2, Sheffield United 2, Leeds 1, Wolves 2, QPR 1.
Sky Bet League 1.
AFC Wimbledon 1, Northampton 3, Blackburn 2, Oldham 2, Blackpool 2, Walsall 2, Bradford 2, Bury 2, Doncaster 1, Charlton 1, Gillingham 1, Peterborough 1, Milton Keynes 1, Portsmouth 2, Oxford 1, Bristol Rovers 2. The match between Rochdale and Fleetwood was postponed. Scunthorpe 1, Rotherham 2, Shrewsbury 1, Plymouth 2, Southend 3, Wigan 1.
Sky Bet League 2.
Barnet 1, Notts County 0. Carlisle 1, Colchester 1, Cheltenham 5, Port Vale 1, Coventry 0, Accrington 2, Crawley 3, Grimsby 0, Crewe 0, Yeovil 0, Exeter 1, Wickham 1, Morecambe against Chesterfield and Newport against Forest Green both postponed, Stevenage 1, Luton 1, Swindon 1, Mansfield 0.
Vanarama National League.
Barrow against Hartlepool, match postponed. Bromley 2, Maidstone 2. Dagenham and Redbridge against Aldershot, 5:30 kickoff. Dover 0, Sutton United 1. Eastleigh 0, Borehamwood 2. Ebbsfleet 1, Solihull Moors 0. Gateshead 1, AFC Fylde 2. Leyton Orient 1, Tranmere 1. Macclesfield 2, Guiseley 1. Maidenhead 1, Torquay 2. Woking 1, Chester 0. Wrexham 1, FC Halifax 1.
The Scottish Cup.
5th round, Celtic 3, Partick 2, Cove Rangers 1, Falkirk 3, Dundee 0, Motherwell 2, Hearts 3, St Johnstone 0, Kilmarnock 4, Borough Rangers 0, Morton 3, Dumbarton 0.
The Scottish Championship.
Livingston 0, Dunfermline 0.
Scottish League 1.
Alloa 1, Forfar 0, East Fife 0, Queen's Park 2, Wraith Rovers 2, Airdrie 1, and the game between Stranraer and Arbroath was postponed.
Scottish League 2.
Berwick 0, Clyde 1, Counterbeath 1, Stirling 2, Edinburgh 0, Peterhead 0, Elgin City 2, Annan Athletic 1, Montrose 1, Stenhousemuir 0.
They're getting closer. What do we do? Well, I'm going to have a go at Betway's 4 to score game with a chance to win 25 grand. What? Relax. It's free to play every week. You simply predict the first teams to score in the top 4 English leagues. The time has come. You're right. We'd be howling mad to miss this one. I could win 25 grand.
For the love of the game. Betway. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Don't miss Chelsea versus Hull City on Friday the 16th of February in the FA Cup 5th round at Stamford Bridge. Tickets are priced just £30 adults, £15 kids, and are available from chelseafc.com or by ringing 0371 811 1905. Chelsea versus Hull City in the FA Cup 5th round, Friday the 16th of February. To get your tickets, visit chelseafc.com today.
Mould would be a great football player. Marking corners, especially in the bathroom. Try and cover mould. Use a spray. Take it down. Mould always recovers and gets back in the game. You'll be as sick as, well, someone with mould in their home. It's time to contact Envirovent. They've helped tackle mould and condensation dampness in over 1 million homes, just like yours. To find out more about their award-winning ventilation products, from extractor fans to whole house systems, visit envirovent.com.
Matchday Live on Talk Sport with Sky Sports. Feel it all on Sky Sports with channels dedicated to the sports you love, available across all devices. Plus enhanced features and highlights available on the Sky Sports app.
Servicing and roadside assistance. It's easy to drive, easy on the wallet, and even easier on the eye. That leaves you free to do more of what you do best. Less getting the van sorted, more getting the job done. Search Vauxhall Vivaro. Conditional sale, 4 years 0% APR representative, minimum 20% deposit plus VAT at 20% on total price. Financed by Vauxhall Finance, subject to status, 18 plus. T's and C's, mileage limitations and exclusions apply.
All right, men, listen up. In the time it takes to play a game of football, 2 men will die of prostate cancer in the UK. 1 man every 45 minutes. Here's how you can help. Text the word TEAM to 70004 and donate £5 to help Prostate Cancer UK reach their goal of relegating prostate cancer forever. They'll send you a Prostate Cancer UK badge, as worn by top football managers, players and supporters. Help stop prostate cancer being a killer. Text costs £5 plus your standard network rate.
We got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade-quality building products. In February, we've got sheets of 6x3, 12.5mm standard plasterboard for only £3.29 each ex-VAT. Now that's a real deal. We've got even more real deals and thousands of products in stock at Selco Builders Warehouse. To find your nearest branch, go to selcobw.com.
We got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
Social media is a terrible thing, isn't it? You get tagged in some embarrassing photo, and in an instant, your other half's commented on it. Is that my dress you're wearing? But there's one thing you want to find online. blackcircles.com. They give you big brand tyres at amazing prices, then arrange for them to be fitted at a garage near you, meaning I won't get any oil on this rather nice dress of hers.
Great deals on Avon tyres this month. So visit blackcircles.com, choose Avon tyres, and click Fit and Save.
Over the last 15 years, thousands of Spanish properties have been sold to UK buyers. Unbelievably, many of these properties were never even built. Unbelievably, that is, unless one of them was yours. We're Reclaim in Spain, and if you paid a deposit only to end up with nothing, we could get your money back. We're experts in recovering money lost on Spanish properties. To find out more, visit reclaiminspain.com.
Get more from football with Betfair's Odds Boost. More edge-of-the-seat action. More drama. More last-minute winners. Get 15-2 on Sanchez and Firmino both to score this Sunday with Betfair. Odds Boost from Betfair. Are you ready for more?
Available pre-match and on sportsbook only. £50 max bet. Cash out not available. Full times at betfair.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Philip Schofield wouldn't dream of putting anyone out, would you, Phil?
Bro, no. No.
No. At WeBuyAnyCar.com, we don't want to put anyone out either. That's why you're able to get an online quote in under 60 seconds, and you could have your car sold an hour later.
That's handy, gotta say.
Nope, you're handy, Phil. Enter your edge now at WeBuyAnyCar.com. So quick, so simple, so Schofield.
Times based on averages from existing customer data. Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
On digital radio and 1089 and 1053 AM.
What a goal that is!
official broadcaster of the Premier League.
Header into the back of the net.
Matchday Live on Talk Sport.
Forward strikes Ben Davies, clips the ball into the area. Kane! Spurs make the breakthrough! Spurs 1, Arsenal 0.
It's the equaliser. Stoke City 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. The man who scored with a header last week has done it again. Xherdan Shaqiri, a bit of magic.
Ball isn't clear. It's in the middle of the goal, and that sealed it. Everton 3, Crystal Palace 0, and it's the young lad Tom Davies who's got it.
Cresswell drives it across. Keeper spills it, having got plenty on it. Chance to finish it for Arnautovic, and he does. And surely that's the precious 3 points for West Ham United. It's West Ham 2, Watford 0. What a massive penalty this is for Stoke City. Adam comes forward, shoots, he's saved. Will he score the rebound? No, he hasn't. He's been fouled, but it's gone wide. And Matty Ryan's the hero for Brighton and Hove Albion in the 90th minute.
Swansea set for a third successive home victory, and they get it. They've beaten Liverpool, they've beaten Arsenal, and now they've beaten Burnley. Ki Sung-young with the late crucial goal here. It finished Swansea 1, Burnley 0.
Here's your headlines then. Harry Kane heads the only goal as Spurs win the North London derby, live on TalkSport to go third. Swansea win again, unbeaten in 8, 4 wins in 6 as Key unlocks Burnley late on. Stoke miss a late penalty and stay in the bottom 3. Charlie Adam, the villain, it finishes 1-1 at home to Brighton. Tom Davies on the score sheet here at Goodison as Everton beat Palace by 3 goals to 1. Much needed win for Big Sam. Hernandez and Arnautovic with goals that give West Ham victory over Watford. In the Rugby England 12, Wales 0 at Twickenham, 2 tries for Johnny May. Let's run down the tables for you. Macclesfield Town 2 points clear at the top of the National League, 2 points ahead of Wrexham, who themselves are 2 ahead of Tranmere, Aldershot, Sutton, all on 55. In League 2, down at the bottom, Barnet with a win, much needed as well to close the gap, but they stay bottom of the table, 2 points behind Chesterfield, who themselves are 2 points behind Forest Green. Up at the top, Exeter in the final playoff place on 52, Mansfield on 53, lost today. Swindon won today, they beat Mansfield, they're on 54. Notts County lost at Barnet, they're on 54, bad defeat for them after that 8-goal thrashing at Swansea. Wickham are third, the unbeaten run goes on, however, they do drop down, they're on 56, 2 points behind Accrington to go up to second. Their winning run continued, and Luton Town top of the table held at Stevenage on 64 points, 6 points clear. In League 1, down at the bottom, Bury are bottom, got a draw at Bradford late on, 25 points they're on. Rochdale on 25, game postponed at Spotland. Milton Keynes on 30, third from bottom. Oldham on 33, and above the dotted line, Wimbledon on 34 after they were beaten at home by Northampton. Blackpool just above them. Up at the top, Bradford in the final playoff place, ended the losing streak but couldn't win. They're on 49, 2 ahead of Charlton. Rotherham up to 5th, they're on 53. Scunthorpe on 54, Blackburn on 60 after being held. Shrewsbury lost, they're on 61. Wigan lost, they're on 63. None of the top 4 in League 1 won today. Burton Albion are bottom of the Championship. They got a point at Ipswich in a 0-0 draw. They're a point behind Sunderland, who came from 3 down for a point at Bristol City. Barnsley drew as well. They're on 28. Hull City with a win on 29. Birmingham, of course, play Villa away tomorrow. It's live on TalkSport 2 at midday. Up at the top, Bristol City in the final playoff place after throwing away that 3-goal lead. They're 3 points ahead of Preston on 52. Fulham on 52 in 5th. Cardiff drew last night on 55 in 4th. Villa play tomorrow on 56. They can go second with a win tomorrow because Derby were held 1-1 by Norwich. Wolves won again. They're top of the league and 13 points clear and heading for the Premier League. In the Premier League then, West Brom are bottom. Wolves exchanging places with West Brom possibly. They're on 20 points. Huddersfield on 24. They're live on TalkSport tomorrow against Bournemouth. Stoke stay in the bottom 3. They're on 25. That penalty would have taken them out. Newcastle live on TalkSport tomorrow against Man United. They're on 25, just above the dotted line. Then it's Southampton 26, Swansea 27, Palace 27, Brighton 28, West Ham on 30, and Watford also on 30 in 11th place. Up at the top, Arsenal in 6th. They're now 6 points behind Liverpool, who are 4th, and Arsenal 5 points behind Chelsea, who are 5th, and Arsenal have played a game more than both of those. Tottenham on 52 in 3rd, Man United on 56 in 2nd, and Manchester City 13 points clear on 69 at the top of the table. So, live on TalkSport right now, can Leicester check Man City's march to the title?
City goal in towards Vardy. What a goal!
we have a lot of players who have the ability to score a goal, not just for the striker. Yeah, of course, so important. We cannot win the title just scoring one player, two players.
We need to play with our best qualities, with good intensity.
Back to Sterling, curls it. It's there! Raheem Sterling has scored with probably the final kick of the game. Pep Guardiola's on the pitch, jumping for...
And Leicester City have just equalised in stoppage time. Harry Maguire has done it.
So let's take you to the Etihad, 5:30 kickoff. It's live on TalkSport and nowhere else. It's Man City against Leicester. Here's Joey Barton. And first with a check on the teams, your commentator Sam Matpace.
Well, there's still no Gabriel Jesus, no Benjamin Mendy or Leroy Sané in the starting lineup, who did train this week but doesn't start. John Stones missed the game against Burnley, but he's back for Pep Guardiola on the bench this evening. A team that starts with a full complement of substitutes just in case as well. 2 changes from the draw at Burnley. Ederson is the goalkeeper. Walker, Laporte, Otamendi and Zinchenko. Fernandinho, De Bruyne and Gundogan, the midfield 3. Then Sterling, Aguero and Bernardo Silva up front. Bravo, Danilo, Kompany, Stones, Nemetja, Foden and Diaz are the replacements available for the Manchester City boss. Well, Riyad Mahrez may well feature for the first time since January the 20th, but he's only on the bench today for Leicester City after he was prevented from joining Manchester City on the last day of the transfer window. Ben Chilwell missed last week's game with Swansea, but is back in a reconfigured back four. He goes to right back. Shinji Okazaki is out for 2 weeks with a little injury, so he's not involved. 2 changes in all from the draw with Swansea. Schmeichel is the goalkeeper. Then it's Chilwell, Maguire, Dragovic and Fuchs, Silva, Ndidi and James. Then Albrighton and Diabate supporting Vardy in attack. Jakupovic, Simpson, Benaluan, Gray, Iborra, Iheanacho and Mahrez are the substitutes. Alongside me in the commentary box is Joey Barton. If he's fit enough for the bench, surely Claude Puel should be picking Mahrez from the start to show Pep exactly what he's missing, right?
Well, not if he hasn't trained for the start of the weeks. I think he'd be sending the wrong impression to the team. Clearly his dummy's come out a little bit, justifiably, I would say. You know, he's clearly disappointed, Sam, in not being in a blue kit this afternoon. But thankfully it's resolved itself before they got silly, before, you know, the PFA are called in, the players are getting fined, and also he loses respect and the admiration of the Leicester fans. You know, he may well have tarnished his reputation at Leicester just by his behaviour after the fact that they haven't got the transfer done.
What lies in wait then, without Mahrez, for this Manchester City back four of Walker, who loves to get forward, Laporte, new to the Premier League, Otamendi, hasn't always been secure, and Ukrainian Zinchenko?
Well, we've seen Zinchenko before. I think he's been converted from a winger, and you know, the reality of it is City haven't played anybody good enough for him to be tested just yet. He did look in the Burnley game in particular, I was here in the FA Cup, like he was a young player finding his way in the game. You know, Laporte, I'm really interested in watching him today. Obviously comes from Bilbao, but Bilbao and the Spanish league to the Premier League is different, shall we say. And Otamendi has looked dodgy only when the person next to him has looked dodgy, so Laporte shows that up. Stones in the early part of the season has showed it up, and I think when he's been playing with somebody who's been nervy in that position, it's made Otamendi look slightly nervy as well.
OK, live commentary to come. Joey asked me today what was my best stat of the day. Here it is for you. Ederson, who is the goalkeeper for Manchester City, cost 35 million quid. He's got 35 separate tattoos. More gems like that from 5:30.
You just don't get that anywhere else, and some people are grateful. I think it's brilliant myself. Now, TalkSport's Don McGuinness spoke to the Man City midfielder. He starts in this one, Ilkay Gundogan, and asked him if the quadruple was possible this season.
It is possible. It's maybe not realistic, but it's possible.
You say that with a smile on your face, and there's a level of confidence there as you say that. So I think the players, you probably don't speak about that much, do you? Or do you? You just get on with it?
No, we never speak about it. I mean, the first one who was talking to me about it was a journalist, I don't know, like 2, 3 or 4 weeks ago, after a game. So I didn't even know what that word means, to be honest. So I heard it for the first time. We don't mind, to be honest. We just continue the way we are playing, and we are going at the moment. We know that we are quite successful until today. But now, as I said before, the most important time of the season starts, you know, and the big games are coming now, and it's very important to be ready in these kind of games, because these kind of games make champions, and we need to be there.
10 to kick off. That was Ilkay Gundogan. Let's check on the Man City Leicester odds with Betfair.
Get ready for more on Talk Sport with Betfair. Go to betfair.com, 18plusgambleaware.org.
Well, we'll talk to our man from Betfair very shortly, Barry Orr, but let's go to Twickenham, because I think a rather controversial TMO decision in England's favour. Russ Hargreaves?
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that, Adrian. It's England 12, Wales 3, but about 3 or 4 minutes ago, Wales had the penalty advantage. They went rampaging down the left-hand side, and Gareth Anscombe, the player who wasn't even in the starting lineup till an hour before kick-off when Lee Halfpenny withdrew, shook off a challenge from Danny Kerr and then appeared to dot the ball down. Anthony Watson was coming across as well. And I agree with you. I thought the TV replay showed that Anscombe got his hand to the ball just before Watson, but the decision was no try. The grounding wasn't convincing. Wales had the penalty advantage, slotted that between the posts, so they've closed the gap to 12-3, but they could count themselves a tad unlucky. England off to a fine start, though. 2 tries in the first 20 minutes, both through Leicester and England wing Johnny May. First set up with a lovely kick through from Owen Farrell. The second after a really impressive team move through the phases, backs and forwards combining. Farrell to Launchbury to May, who scored in the corner. Farrell adding 1 conversion out of 2. Played 31 minutes, England 12, Wales 3.
Well, no Halfpenny, no chance really for the Welsh. Johnny May showing far more class than the coach has done all week, and England seemingly in control in the early stages. So let's check on those odds with Betfair. With Barry Orr. How you doing, Barry?
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm just thinking that if there is going to be a slip-up from Manchester City at home between now and the end of the season, could this be the one at home to Leicester?
Yeah, they have a pretty bad record. They've lost 4 out of 6. That's their highest percentage of home defeats against any club in the Premier League at home. Like I said, over 3.5 goals has been a popular bet, though, Adrian, at 5-4, and over 4.5 goals at 14-5. In the outright betting, City 2-9, Leicester 14-1. It's 6-1 to draw. Odds on that. Hashtag odds on that, where you can specific markets. Ask Betfair for specific markets on Twitter. 2 goals, each team to get 2 corners in each half is 13-2. In the first goal scorer market, Vardy's an 8-1 chance, and he scored in each of his last 3 Premier League appearances. Sergio Aguero, he scored 10 in his last 6 games at the Etihad in all competition. He's 21-10 to net first.
Barry, thanks very much. We'll check in with you again at half-time, checking on the odds with Betfair.
Get ready for more on Talk Sport with Betfair. Go to betfair.com, 18plusgambleaware.org.
Just 7 to kick off at the Etihad. Man City Leicester coming up live on Talk Sport.
Don't miss Chelsea versus Hull City on Friday the 16th of February in the FA Cup 5th round at Stamford Bridge. Tickets are priced just £30 adults, £15 kids, and are available from chelseafc.com or by ringing 0371 811 1905. Chelsea versus Hull City in the FA Cup 5th round, Friday the 16th of February. To get your tickets, visit chelseafc.com today.
Here are some things you can afford to miss at work. Keyboard warriors. Meaningless jargon.
Let's just circle back and align.
That thing that's going round. Ugh. But you can't afford to miss calls to your small business, because missed calls cost you money. eReceptionist manages and diverts your calls. Plus, you can dial out from your eReceptionist number on your mobile. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at ereceptionist.co.uk. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
Do you like helping people in need? Could you help a childless couple start a family? If you're a healthy man aged 18 to 45, the Fertility Centre at Whittington Health would like to talk to you about becoming a fertility donor. To give the gift of life, please call or text 07979 548 183 or Google Whittington Fertility. That's 07979 548 183 or Google Whittington Fertility.
Matchday Live on Talk Sport with Sky Sports. The dedicated Sky Sports football channel features live football from around the globe, including the Carabao Cup Final, SPFL, La Liga and more.
Bringing you every goal from every game all season long.
Matchday Live on Talk Sport.
We've got more live football than anyone else here on TalkSport. Wins today for Swansea, Everton and West Ham, while Stoke missed a late penalty and drew with Brighton. Live on TalkSport tomorrow, Huddersfield against Bournemouth and Newcastle against Manchester United. Live on TalkSport earlier, Spurs 1, Arsenal 0. Guess who? Harry Kane. Live on TalkSport now, it's the leaders against Leicester. Riyad Mahrez wanted to play at Man City. He may well have the chance to do just that this evening. It's live and exclusive to National Radio on TalkSport. Man City Leicester with Joey Barton and Sam Matface.
No club has a better record against Manchester City here at the Etihad than Leicester City. So it's no wonder they try to purchase their best player. 4 wins in 6 Premier League visits and a humbling at the KP last year gives credence to the argument, if anyone is City's bogey team, well, it could be the wily old Foxes. Always snapping, cunning, ready to escape on the break quickly. And after 2 games without a win, they are joined again by Riyad Mahrez, who has put his toys back in his pram. He is, however, kept on the bench by Claude Puel. Pep Guardiola hasn't had to upset any little ones or Gary Neville. And he's got the full complement of replacements on the bench today, and they're looking to go 16 points clear at the top of the table ahead of tomorrow's matches, which include Manchester United against Newcastle away at St James's Park, live on TalkSport. This is how they start, with Ederson in goal, Walker, Laporte, Otamendi and Zinchenko, then Fernandinho, De Bruyne and Gundogan, Sterling, Aguero and Bernardo Silva as the attacking 3. For Leicester, and they drew with Swansea last time out, and a couple of shifts around, especially in defence, where Schmeichel is playing behind a defence of Chilwell, Maguire, Dragovic and Fuchs. Silva, Ndidi and James, who make up a 3-man midfield, or Brighton and Diabate support Jamie Vardy in attack. Joey Barton started his career at Manchester City. How did Leicester cause Manchester City problems today, Joe?
Well, it'll be the way they played, really, Sam, in the championship winning year. You know, when they won the Premier League title, when they were compact, when they got behind the ball, when they allowed the opposition to dominate the possession, and they struck on the counter-attack. Obviously, if Riyad Mahrez was playing today, he gives them another ball-carrying play, and I'm surprised to see Damari Gray on the bench as well. You know, Diabate, who I thought was excellent in the games against Peterborough, and maybe Claude Puel's seen something in training. But then I don't see the same kind of ball-carrying ability from Adrian Silva and Mark Albrighton. I think Albrighton's picked today to give Chilwell a little bit of protection and a little bit of cover, because he's not used to playing in that right-back slot.
Well, what a weekend on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. We have live commentary of 3 games tomorrow, including Villa Birmingham on 2, Huddersfield against Bournemouth and Newcastle Manchester United on TalkSport. We've got more football than anyone else. It is TalkSport and TalkSport 2. And tonight we're concentrating on the champions-elect and the former champions Leicester City. We're off and underway with Manchester City in light blue jerseys and white shorts and light blue socks, shooting from left to right. It's all black for the visitors, Leicester City, who are shooting from right to left. And I noticed immediately that Albrighton has gone back into a right wing-back position, Chilwell into a left wing-back position, and a 3-man defence for Claude Puel. Surprised by that?
No, I was thinking when we seen the lineups, would Chilwell play at right-back? We thought he was going to play there. And I thought that City would expose that. You know, they do like to play those little 1-2s, the little give and goes in wide areas, and kind of exploit the full-back area. But to see Chilwell in his natural position, Fuchs has gone in as an auxiliary centre-half, so they're making a back 3 with Harry Maguire at the centre of that. And I think it gives them more balance. You know, Albrighton, phenomenal work rate for a wide player. You know, he usually covers his full-back really well on occasions, but today, Sam, he's going to be the full-back. So I think tactically from Claude Puel, I think, you know, it's going to be what we expect. A counter-attacking performance with Diabate and Vardy looking to spring at every opportunity.
Albrighton in that right wing position is a right wing back position is an unfamiliar area for him. But here is Kyle Walker, and it's defending they have to do now, Leicester, as Bernardo Silva wanders down the left-hand side, produces a cross left-footed. It's headed away by Ndidi and picked up on the edge of the area by Adrian Silva, but given back rather quickly and cheaply to Manchester City, who come forward again. down the right as they look at it. They're deep inside Leicester territory here when it's on to Bernardo Silva once again, who wanders down by the touchline and slowly tiptoes towards the edge of the area before sending it back to De Bruyne. A low cross right into the danger zone. Raheem Sterling is there. The flag stays down, and inside 2 minutes and 10 seconds, Manchester City have opened up the back five, the newly constructed back five of Leicester. And Raheem Sterling, who missed an absolute sitter from 2 yards out last week, has scored from exactly the same position this. It's Manchester City 1, Leicester City 0.
And it's that man again, PFA Player of the Year, what I expect him to be anyway, Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, City just kept the pressure on there, Sam. Leicester guilty probably of trying to overplay. City pressing them in it. The ball comes to Kevin De Bruyne in a wide area. He hits a first-time cross into what we call the corridor of uncertainty. Gambling at the back post is Aguero. He misses it, but Raheem Sterling's following in, and a lovely, and incidentally it's the foot he should have probably knocked it in with against Burnley last week. So clearly they've worked on that in training, and it looks like it's going to be a long afternoon now for Leicester in that back five.
Well, if you thought that it may well be playing on his mind, that miss against Burnley last week, it's only taken 2 minutes and 10 seconds for him to put it behind him. It was a really good finish. I was going to say, actually, he couldn't miss from there, but he did last week, so he can. But he's put Manchester City in front before the 3 minute mark.
Could have missed twice from there, Sam.
And all your plans have gone out the window now if you're Claude Puel within 3 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, and if you're the prawn signing brigade, as we're seeing here, they haven't even seen that. They're still all finding the seats.
Yep.
Get in the stadium earlier. Especially you pay that money for the ticket.
They've been in the stadium. They've just been in the back behind us, larging it in the Tunnel Club, where you were the other night, actually, weren't you? Bristol City against Man City. You were in there, weren't you?
Yeah, I came for the game, mate. Yeah. I do like to watch football. Don't only like getting paid for watching football like you. I do sometimes come as a pastime.
I went to Rochdale the other night.
Yeah, but that's only because I had a go at you, saying you only do the big games. You decided to slum it.
It was a great game.
Yeah, the pitch looked fantastic there. You were saying how good the pitch was.
That was brilliant. Here's Walker wandering towards the edge of the area, sends it wide to the left. It's Zinchenko takes over, feathers it down the left touchline. Raheem Sterling's got the bit between his teeth here. He runs to the edge of the area, releases it, and it goes straight to Harry Maguire, who clears over on the far side. It's a free kick to Leicester City, about 10 yards short of the penalty area. It's Manchester City 1, Leicester City 0. TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can watch that goal on the Sky Sports app at no extra cost if you're a Sky TV customer with Sky Sports. Joey's just watching the goal again.
You can do nothing with the quality of the ball in from Kevin De Bruyne. It's very, very tough to defend it. It's why, and rightly, as we were talking earlier, people are talking about his performances this year, but his quality of delivery, especially with the likes of Sergio Aguero around the box, it's just a pleasure to play with.
288 kilometres he's run this season as well for Pep Guardiola's team, which means that he's put the hard yards in quite literally.
Yeah. You love stats at the minute, mate, don't you?
I do. Here is Gundogan down the left-hand side looking for Raheem Sterling. A ball cleared away by Kasper Schmeichel high into the night sky. He's wearing a bright orange goalkeeping jersey today. It's been dreadfully raining here all day today in Manchester, and it's very wet on the turf, but it has just relented.
You live in Manchester, are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised as someone who built this stadium without a proper roof on it.
Yeah, they might do in time. Give them a couple of seasons.
I think they need to. Now, we've played 6 minutes. You're listening to Talk Sport. City have lost 4 of their last 6 home games in the league against Leicester City, but this season City have been absolutely imperious. They are unbeaten in 25 Premier League home games. And they have the ball on the far side. They're going to throw it back. There was a bit of an injury to Michael Brighton over on that right-hand side. He's just stretching something out. The ball is tinkered back to the goalkeeper, Schmeichel, who immediately just panicked a little bit because he rolled it out. And then Aguero was shutting him down. It was cleared to this near side, and it was quite a sloppy clearance in the end. Fuchs has it back to Harry Maguire, who surely will be in the England team when we get to Russia. Fuchs again under pressure from Aguero, and it's back to Schmeichel. And then into Fuchs again. They're finding it difficult to get out here, Leicester City, and in the end, Fuchs kicks it straight out of play, and it's away for a throw to Manchester City, deep inside Leicester's territory. 1-0.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Leicester attempt to play so much, certainly with you know, Laporte being new to the league and Jamie Vardy in and around it, you know, he's at his best, Vardy, when he's running towards the opposition goal.
De Bruyne through the legs of the defender. Ndidi was the man who was standing there, went through him into Gundogan. It's cleared away. It's not cleared away. It was supposed to be cleared away by Chilwell. He's giving it straight to Bernardo Silva, who's found Walker. Cross into the centre, looking for Aguero. He glances his head towards the ball. He rose perfectly, but couldn't angle the header into the far corner. Sterling's got it back again into Aguero. I think the ball went out of play as he went down that left-hand side, just straight over the goal line, and the flag went up, and it's a goal kick away to our right-hand side. But this is going to be a very long afternoon for Leicester City and their supporters, who have made the short journey up from the East Midlands.
Yeah, just a little bit at 6s and 7s there. It's young Chilwell, guilty of trying to play in the wrong area, really. You come to the Etihad, you want to try and stay in the game, keep it compact as long as you can. They didn't do that. They've conceded within the first 10 minutes, and then they're at risk of conceding again, you know, overplaying. The ball could be emptied from their area, really. They try and play it, it gets turned over, and this time it's Kyle Walker with a attempting ball in for Aguero, and he'll be disappointed he hasn't got his head on the end of that.
Fernandinho rises on halfway, nudges the ball forward. Maguire sends it back into the right fullback position, and Albrighton has to scurry across and play it against Zinchenko, who's high up on that left-hand side. It goes out for a Leicester City throw. 77% possession so far for Manchester City, who lead by a goal to nil thanks to Raheem Sterling and his 20th goal of the season. Wow, 20 goals for Raheem Sterling. Everyone used to give him a bit of stick, didn't they, about the fact they didn't score enough goals.
I think he was getting a bit after last weekend, weren't he? But what a season he's had, really, when you think how far he's come since the ridicule he suffered against Iceland.
Adrian Silva into the left edge of the Manchester City box, where Chilwell's joined the attack. His first time ball into the 18-yard area is missed by everyone, cleared away by Fernandinho, and out on this near side and away for a throw to Leicester City. And Fuchs is going to take it in front of Pep Guardiola, wearing black today. Black hoodie on top of black slacks and black shoes. Looks like I've got quite a big heel on those shoes. Here is Silva back to halfway, where Dragovic is waiting for it. He finds Harry Maguire, and then Ndidi steps over it, hoping that it was going to run to the right for Matty James. Doesn't reach it, and in the end it's cleared away by Manchester City. Gundogan from De Bruyne's pass, then hooks it back out to the left-hand side, and it falls down at the feet of De Bruyne. It's then given away, and Vardy's on his bike here. Ederson's come out, chested the ball away from Vardy, taking it into the left full-back position, and then sprayed a pass out towards this near side. Well, he says in an interview that I read this week, Joey, he could play in central midfield. His footwork ain't bad, is it? Here's Walker running down the right side of the centre circle. He moves it into the right, and Silva. Bernardo Silva chops back in on his left foot, runs into traffic, keeps hold of it, tries to tuck it back to Walker. Silva gets in front of him. Adrian Silva, that is, for Leicester City. He finds Christian Fuchs, and then indeed he tries to bring it away before he's brought down by Gundogan.
Well, judging of the way he stepped in as a sweeper there, really, to thwart the attempts of Vardy, he maybe could play centre midfield. I mean, I've never seen a goalkeeper, I don't think, with as good of ability as a footballer. He reads the game well, he steps in. As we've seen at Anfield, you know, the ability to pick a pass under pressure. I mean, it's a different world in the middle of the park, but I like the lad's confidence. I mean, I'd certainly like to play against him if he fancies coming in there. I mean, what he's forgetting, Sam, is when you're in goal, everything's in front of you, so you do have, you know, kind of 2D vision.
Here is Albrighton getting past Zinchenko, producing a cross. It's not a great one, and Ederson comes out and shows his handling capabilities and takes it above Diabate, and then sends it speeding forward, looking for Aguero. Almost found him as well. Harry Maguire dealt with that and cleared out towards the far side. That was a bit of a disappointment for Leicester, that Albrighton didn't make the most of that cross, and now City are attacking at the other end. Here's De Bruyne, who's on his bike and running down the left touchline. A low cross in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Dealt with by Maguire again, and Leicester get it up to Diabate, and then lose the ball very quickly, and another turnover sees De Bruyne try and get down the right side before he's challenged by Albrighton. It goes out for a throw-in over on that far touchline. Manchester City 1, Leicester 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Get the Sky Sports app and enhanced features, including the timeline function, which allows you to check out the key incidents during Premier League matches.
They work so hard when they haven't got the ball, Man City. You know, and I know they've got a plethora of attacking prowess and talent, you know, top players in world football at this moment in time. But the same, you point out that stat about Kevin De Bruyne, you know, he's ran the most distance of anybody in the Premier League. The work ethic and the work rate of the side is such a differentiating factor between them and everybody else in the league.
Is that what's taken them to a new level this season?
Well, yeah, you look at Aguero there. I mean, he never ever worked hard as that as he has for anybody else in his career. You look at Bernardo Silva here, who's a kind of luxury player, you know, somebody you would expect to get in the pockets and create chances. Absolutely first man to defend. He's getting on the front foot, he's pressing. And I think that stat about Kevin De Bruyne, it just doesn't surprise me. You know, let's be honest, Kevin De Bruyne was probably guilty of being a little bit tubby, a little bit on the heavy side. Maybe that's why it never worked out at Chelsea. Maybe he didn't have that same desire and determination. But his transformation under Pep Guardiola has been, I mean, he's arguably the best player in the league this year, and I think at the end of the season, if he maintains his form, Sam, you will see him win all the plaudits from everybody, whether it be football writers, PFA Player of the Year, and I think justifiably he will have deserved to win those accolades.
Manchester City 1, Leicester City 0. TalkSport ball out of play on this near side. Let's go off to Twickenham. Half-time in the rugby. Here's TalkSport's Russell Hargreaves.
Yeah, cheers, Sam. England 12, Wales 3. Home team ahead with 2 tries from Johnny May and 1 conversion from Owen Farrell. Wales sitting back with a Gareth Anscombe penalty. Could have easily had a try that was disallowed by the TMO. And before half-time, an almighty punch-up as emotions boiled over between these two proud rivals. It was Farrell clearing out Gareth Davies. Plenty of people taking exception. No more than a penalty awarded. Half-time, England 12, Wales 3.
And back here, Manchester City on the attack with Sterling trying to weave his way past the Leicester defence after Aguero sparked an attack when he ran through the heart of the Leicester half of the field. He found Sterling, who was immediately surrounded by black jerseys, and eventually it scrambled away. 14 minutes gone. It's Manchester City who lead by a 1-0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Remember, tomorrow we got 3 games for you across our network, TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Monday morning, Alan Brazil is back on breakfast. Joey's back on breakfast on Monday as well, aren't you?
Yep.
And Vinnie Jones as well.
Vinny's joining us, yeah.
Big Vin.
I think he's doing a little segment from LA, from La La Land.
6:30 till 7 a.m. is his first stint. And with you boys.
Should get lively in there. Me and Al are just usually waking up about then. Couple of coffees in, Sam.
Ball is out of play away to our right-hand side. It is with Kasper Schmeichel. It's out of play. And it's a goal kick, which Schmeichel could take. Were you in the same team as Kasper Schmeichel? Was he around?
He was a young kid. Him and Joe Hart were the young keepers when I was at City, so I used to keep Kasper out. And I'm not sure he particularly liked me, Kasper. I was really hard on Kasper because he was a little bit tubby, a little bit overweight when he was a youngster. And his dad was obviously a superstar, so he obviously got a bit more treatment than any of the younger players. And he was also very, very outspoken. And I think his dad was outspoken, and that's the reason he was. But always had great potential. I always felt he was going to be a little bit too small to be a top-level keeper. And I also felt he had an issue with coming for crosses and temperament. So to see him develop into the goalkeeper he has become is, I think, a testament to his attitude, because it's no easy shoes to fill when your dad's been arguably the greatest goalkeeper in the world. And I think Kasper now is Denmark #1 and starting to show just what a top-level goalkeeper he is.
He will expect to go to the World Cup. Here's Gundogan turning the ball over 20 yards from the edge of the penalty area, finding Aguero. Again, there's a lot of black shirts immediately around the Argentine as he tries to push his way through into the 18-yard box, but it spins off his foot and goes straight back to Kasper Schmeichel away to our right-hand side. He'll waste a bit of time here just by holding onto the ball and encouraging his team to get up the pitch. 15 gone, 1-0 to Manchester City. Distributes it out to the left where it's clipped on by Chilwell. In the right fullback position, Otamendi comes across, clears, won by Fuchs, flicked on by Chilwell again. No one there to hold on to the ball. Every time it's gone up towards that edge of the area, there's been no one there to hold it for Leicester City. They are a little bit lighter in the attacking battalion today. Okazaki's injured. They've let Slimani go, of course, and also Leo Ajoa. They've left out Iheanacho, who was a hit here. He had a brilliant record actually for Manchester City, and I think there was a few raised eyebrows when he was moved on to Leicester for such a great price, but I mean, it looks like good business now from Manchester City, doesn't it?
I like Iheanacho. I just think he's a young player, still learning the game, needs a bit of time in the side. I just think Claude Puel's got it wrong. He's got his tactics wrong today. You know, the fact that he's gone to a back five, as we've seen with Sam Allardyce doing that last week, and I said at the time, it's a tough thing to coach. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it needs exceptional coaching and a long period of time coaching it, Sam, because
Sterling racing down the left-hand side. He's kept the ball in when he had no right to. He sends it centre, and out comes Kasper Schmeichel to smother it at the near post before it can reach Sergio Aguero. But that rapid pace of Raheem Sterling there caught out the Leicester back line. They'd given it up. They thought it was going out. Raheem Sterling didn't give it up.
Everyone in the stadium did. That's why I stopped talking, because I thought if anyone's going to catch it, it's going to be him or Kyle Walker. And I knew he'd get to it.
That pace is unbelievable,
pace, yeah.
Electrifying pace, and it's something that England will capitalise on, I think, during the summer. No doubt about that. Here is Zinchenko trying to play it down the left side for Sterling. It wasn't the ball that Sterling wanted. It goes forward and into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel away to our right-hand side. Good day for Ireland. They beat Italy earlier in the rugby. England leading against Wales. Russ Hargreave is there, and we'll keep you in touch with that throughout the course of the afternoon. Celtic squeezed through to the quarterfinals of the Scottish Cup with a victory today thanks to a James Forrest hat-trick. Leicester trying to play out from the back away to our right here and causing themselves all sorts of grief. They've eventually done it. Oh no, they've given the ball away again. Matty James miscontrolled it over on the far side. It's a little bit dicey. Wolves top of the championship. They beat QPR today. Harry Kane's goal was enough to win the North London derby live on TalkSport earlier. Everton 3-1 winners today against Crystal Palace.
That Swansea win against Burnley today, it's so tight in that bottom half of the table now.
Yeah, it's crazy
so tight. Yeah, I was saying earlier, Sam, about the back five. I just think it doesn't allow a responsibility. You know, that Leicester, when they won the league, were kind of 4-4-2 and dropping in. So to see them go to a back five today, you know, kind of 5-3-1-1 really, because Diabate's dropped in behind Vardy. They just can't retain the ball. You know, to be fair to Vardy, he's having a go, but Man City have just got numbers and they just keep creating overloads on them.
De Bruyne trying to get up to Aguero, trying to roll Harry Maguire, who handles him well and manages to clear, but there's nowhere to go for Maguire once he wins the ball.
But that's what I'm saying, yeah, they turn it over with the back five. It's all good and well, you've got bodies in there. You've got to have an outlet. You know, when I look, they've got Danny Simpson, who's a right back, and, you know, Old Brighton is a ball carrier. He gets you up the pitch, he does good work both sides of the ball. They've left him on the bench. Damari Gray, another ball carrier, both sides of the ball. Left him on the bench, and then you've got Diabate, and then no doubt he's a boy with talent and he's going to develop in time. But I just think you miss a trick with a Border. Whenever I've seen a Border play, he slows the game down, he keeps the ball, he retains possession, plus he's a big physical presence. So, you know, I hate to say this at this point in the game, you know, Claude Puel's done good things since he's come to Leicester, but I think he's got his tactics wrong here today. I think they've got off on the wrong foot, and the scoreline suggests that. And I think he's going to have to tweak it. I think he's talking to Michael Appleton here, I can see down on the bench, and he's going to have to tweak it if Leicester are going to get anything from this game today.
Well, the good news is we've only played 19 minutes. It's only 1-0, and it could have been worse than that. But it isn't, and here come Leicester down the left-hand side. The ball hooked forward, hopefully by Chilwell, but to no one in particular. And Vardy was never going to reach that. And it's out for a throw-in deep inside Manchester City territory for Manchester City, who lead by a goal to nil. They've had a first full week off. They've had 3 days off, a full week in between games for the first time since August. Manchester City, and they look refreshed, and boy, they're going to need it with the fixtures that they've got coming up in the next few weeks.
Might be the last one they have.
For quite some while. I think they'll probably take that. That's certainly their aim. Here is Albrighton running up into the centre circle, being dispossessed, and well, he tried to get out from a sticky situation, ran into another one, and then Raheem Sterling funneled it forward. De Bruyne was on the chase, and luckily for Leicester City, Manchester City didn't capitalise on the error. Here's Raheem Sterling again, centre circle, the goal scorer, onto Gundogan from Fernandinho. Raheem Sterling sends it wide left. Aguero is in there. He's onside. He gets to the byline. He pulls it back. It's blocked, and it's cleared away by Leicester. And indeed, he got back in there to help out. Brighton was there, and Harry Maguire as well, just to shut down Sergio Aguero. But when they turned the ball over on halfway there, Manchester City, they broke at such a quick pace.
And short, sharp, little 1 and 2 touch interplay, little wall passes. Leicester find it difficult to get anywhere near. I mean, you look, City at top of the league, and by a considerable distance for a reason. You know, they condense the play. If you look where the centre halves, most of the time, Otamendi and Laporte will be either on the halfway line or 5 yards inside the opposition's half. So they condense the play on you, and behind that they've got a keeper who is like an extra footballer. He squeezes up. We've seen earlier on with the long ball from Vardy, Sam, he just steps off his line. He's got that composure to step in, almost like another defender when he's outside the box. You know, so there's a real trust in the system, a trust in the way they go about it. I'm not saying it's easy for Leicester, but I just think to play an unorthodox system formation against a side that is so good I think this is why they've
changed their recipe. This is a side that had success away from home more often than not in the Championship winning season. Actually, up until recently, they've been much better away from home than they have been at home, because they're a counter-attacking team and they're great at counter-attacking. They've changed that philosophy today, haven't they? And they don't look like getting out. Here is Diabate, onto Vardy again, space on the far side, the right for Albrighton, a first chance for Leicester though, maybe. On the right side, produces a cross, it goes over the head of Diabate and Matty James, and right the way through to Chilwell, who just pushes it straight back into the box, a header behind by Fernandinho, and it's out for a corner away to our left-hand side. Manchester City 1, Leicester City 0.
And you can hear the Leicester fans cheering the fact that they've got a corner. Such has been City's dominance territorially, really, in this opening 22-23 minutes, Sam, that they're relieved to get a set play. But City showed great scramble defence there. It's the first time they've really been tested. Diabate, good little ball into Vardy. They managed to switch the play to Albrighton. He puts a ball in, unfortunately. It's just above the two Leicester heads in the middle of the box.
1-0 to Manchester City, defending the goal away to our left-hand side. Leicester drive the corner in with Albrighton. It's not a great delivery. In fact, every time I've seen him put a ball in since I said he had a great cross of the ball, he's messed it up. And now here's the counter-attack, led by De Bruyne. He's charging through. It's 4-on-3 in City's favour. Sterling has it. Now Aguero has it. Right side of the area. Christian Fuchs does very well to make sure that Aguero goes no further. And Leicester bring it out towards this near side, but there were a few heart palpitations on that Leicester bench there. Here's Diabate, played in by Silva, out-muscled by Otamendi. They give the ball away, City, and Vardy is escaping. He's running at Aymeric Laporte. He goes on the outside, right-footed shot. He takes a deflection beyond Ederson and in. They've had one shot on target in the game, Leicester, and scored. And it's Jamie Vardy once again. His 5th goal in 5 games against Manchester City makes it Manchester City 1, Leicester 1, and it was a mistake in midfield which cost Manchester City dear.
They should deal with it, and it's good the one who goes off his feet, he slides, and I think Aymeric Laporte's been caught guilty maybe of not knowing this league and not knowing the players. Surely they do video work. He backs off Jamie Vardy, he allows him to get into full stride and decides he's going to take the more conservative approach to defending him. I think he had to engage him higher up the pitch, even if it meant giving a foul away, because he had numbers coming back. As it is, he allows Vardy to get the ball out of his feet, and then at that point he was in big trouble. Vardy takes it outside of Laporte onto his allegedly weaker right foot and leaves Ederson Moraes with absolutely no chance. Clinical finish, and that is why Jamie Vardy is such a potent threat. And we were just saying Claude Puel's got his tactics wrong. I still think he hasn't given his team an opportunity to get into the game, but won the goal from Jamie Vardy, and we're back at all square.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how things change now for Leicester City after getting themselves back into that game. Here's Silva down the right side, though, sending the ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It comes out and away via Ndidi, only as far as Zinchenko, then Sterling, Zinchenko again, and then Gundogan trying to turn right-footed shot straight into the arms from the edge of the 18-yard box of Kasper Schmeichel, the Leicester City goalkeeper. It's 1-1.
And this was frustrating me, Sam. They've got 5 bodies there. Because you've got 5 bodies, we've seen with Everton at the Emirates last week, there's no accountability. You can see Harry Maguire.
He's now put his fingers up. 4.
Okay, it had to be changed because they've got a lot of bodies there, but nobody's taking accountability for going to deal with the man, and it's causing confusion. It's not stopping City from having the way and playing bounce balls and getting shots at target and getting third man runners. I think they've switched now to go to a back 4 and gone 5 in midfield, which is a better way, because they can now support Jamie Vardy, and they've also got bodies there to allow them to get a breather and get a period of possession even when they win the ball back from Man City.
It'd be fascinating to get down to Dom McGuinness in just a moment and hear what he thinks Claude Puel and Michael Appleton have come up with here. But they've given the ball away. Zinchenko into Diabate, and Diabate now has found Vardy into the midfield where he's combined with Chilwell, and now Matty James has got it. He sent it long, invited Vardy to come out. Out comes Ederson with his head into the D to head clear from the edge of the box to almost the halfway line. It was an excellent header from the Brazilian goalkeeper, who read it brilliantly and got up and nodded it clear. Here is Fernandinho onto Gundogan. Gundogan charging forward from Ndidi. Was going to hand that off to Sterling, now does, on the left edge of the area. He plays it back into Gundogan, who's crowded out, and Leicester City have got the wind in their sails at the moment. And here's Diabate running at Fernandinho down the right side, a yard in from the touchline. He chops back and gives it to Albrighton, who sorry, to James, so Silva over on that far side, who gives it to Albrighton, who comes back in field. And now it's with Matty James, helping it back to his goalkeeper. Schmeichel then kicks it out towards the near touchline. Bernardo Silva goes across, almost wins it. Fuchs fires it forward, and then given away by Otamendi. And Vardy, trying to chase that ball down, was beaten to it for pace, but only by the rapid Carl Walker, who's got jet-fueled heels. And Manchester City take a bit of a breather. You're listening to Talk Sport, and it's Manchester City 1, Leicester City 1 with Sky Sports. And don't forget, you can watch that Jamie Vardy goal on the Sky Sports app if you're a Sky TV customer with Sky Sports at no extra cost.
And they've 100% changed the formation. They've gone to a conventional back four, and then four in front of that and a one. It's Adrian Silva who's gone as the number 10 kind of link player with Jamie Vardy, and Diabate's gone to the right-hand side of midfield. Chilwell on the left and Matty James and Ndidi in the middle, and I think that will definitely suit them better. But it's a more conventional way, as you say. They've won the league playing that kind of formation. It's
Diabate right side, cutting in towards the edge of the centre circle, and Otamendi steps out just in front of Vardy before it can reach him. And Manchester City under a little bit of pressure as the ball breaks down inside the Leicester half, because they know they turn it over so quickly and move through the gears so fast. Here is Bernardo Silva twisting one way then the other, leaving Fuchs for dead, sends the ball into the near post. A flick with a right hand by Schmeichel stops it from sneaking in and pushes it away high into the air beyond Aguero and out on the other side of the penalty area. What a lively evening we've got for you now. 28 minutes gone on Talk Sport. 1-1 the score. Fernandinho has it 10 yards from the edge of the area, clips it out to the right. Silva brings it down, nudges it back to Walker. Walker takes it on, moves into the crossing position, fires it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, parried away by Schmeichel, comes back out to Fernandinho, whose effort is gloved by the goalkeeper. And let's go down quickly to Don McGuinness, who's down behind the benches for us. What have you seen, Appleton and Pure do here?
Well, as you spotted yourselves, that they had been in conversation prior to the goal. They hadn't made any tactical change prior to that goal. That simply came from the mistake, Jamie Vardy doing the rest. Then they did continue that discussion, obviously make the change after that equalising goal had gone in. Interestingly, on the other bench, as you would imagine, not much movement on the City bench. Phil Foden sat there, looks like a mascot winner, sat next to Vincent Kompany.
Here's De Bruyne down the left side, driving into the box again, fires it against the body of Dragovic, and it goes out for the first Manchester City corner of the day. Manchester City 1, Leicester City 1. I'll give you the odds in just a second. The ball is out with Kevin De Bruyne. The short corner taken to Bernardo Silva, back to Zinchenko, into De Bruyne again, a right-footed curler which is plucked from the sky by Kasper Schmeichel and cleared away. So the latest odds from Betfair, Matchday Live's official betting partner on TalkSport. Manchester City 7-2 on to go and win the game. Leicester City 10-1 to register a victory here. The draw is 4-1. Manchester City to win 2-1 is 9-2. Leicester City to win 2-1 is 25-1. You can cash out on single or accumulator bets to take your winnings before the end of the match. Available on selected markets. Conditions do apply. Full terms and conditions are available at betfair.com. 18+. Please gamble aware. This is TalkSport. And it's Manchester City 1, Leicester City 1. Joey Barton alongside me. Are you surprised that we've got to half an hour and it's all square?
Well, the way Manchester City started the game, you thought they were going to blow them out the water, really. Credit to Leicester, they hung in there. You know, Manchester City probably the Aguero half chance and Sterling keeping that ball in, but they haven't created an abundance of golden opportunities. And when you've got a player of Jamie Vardy's quality at the other end of the park, and he's just waiting to pounce on that mistake, I think the fact that this system switched certainly gives them a better opportunity to upset Man City here today. And as you've seen already, just a subtle tactical change, Sam, it's thrown Man City a little bit of anything. You know, the crowd seem a little bit stunned by the Vardy goal, and City seem a little bit stunned by it. But the fact that they've changed system is given now an opportunity, as I say, for Leicester to maybe cause a little bit of an upset and take some points back to Leicester tonight.
When you go back to the goal, given away in midfield, goes up to Diabate, he's dispossessed. They have the ball. Zinchenko then misjudges his challenge. He gives it to Vardy, who runs from 25 yards from the edge of the penalty area to the edge of the box. He faces up Aymeric Laporte, goes on the outside onto his right foot and drives the ball past him and into the net. What should Laporte have done?
Well, to be honest, it's Gundogan in the middle of the park. When he goes off his feet in the way he does, he's got to get. If you don't get the ball, you've got to get the man. He can't. You both can't go past you. You know, he commits to that. he misses it. He actually does Vardy a favour because he touches the ball in front of Vardy, which saves Jamie Vardy having to have the first touch himself. And at that point, Laporte's in trouble. As soon as I see him take a backward step, I thought, you're in trouble. Jamie Vardy's the wrong man to back off to because he's so fast. His acceleration speed from 0 to whatever mile an hour it is, he accelerates away from you. And all he's looking for, due to his proximity to the goal, Sam, is to create a yard, 2 yards.
Here's De Bruyne on the left-hand side, crosses away, comes out towards the edge of the area, and then they have it back again, Manchester City. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, to get a shot in. And Laporte takes a step back. Vardy has him exactly where he wants him, touches it outside of him onto his allegedly weaker right foot, hits a shot. Laporte tries to block it with his feet. It hits the underside of his leg and rebounds up and over Ederson Moraes.
De Bruyne again down the left-hand side, gets it onto his right foot, tries a shot, takes a deflection, goes behind at the near post and away for a corner for Manchester City. Another driving run. He's just shifted out to that left-hand side, De Bruyne, and he's caused a bit of grief. And this right foot effort was driven low and hard towards the near post, and actually it was Kasper Schmeichel who made the save. It's a short one into Gundogan. Aren't they all short nowadays?
Well, as all good players do, De Bruyne has recognised that they've switched the system. He understands that there's going to be a pocket of space to play in, and he's gone out and picked up that position, and that's where the shot on target comes from.
Well, they've wasted the second corner, Manchester City. They've given the ball back to Leicester, then they've brought down Diabate on the far side, and it's away for a throw.
So in answer to your question, what you'd asked me, what should Laporte have done?
Yeah.
He should have ran straight to him, and he cannot go past you. The referee wouldn't send you off because he's not technically the last man, because there's bodies running back in. It's probably have booked him. So he should have gone and engaged Vardy a lot earlier and either won the ball or disrupted Jamie Vardy and not allowed him to accelerate at him, because once he stands him up and squares him up, there's only one winner in that foot race. You know, if it's Kyle Walker, I understand it because he beats anybody in a foot race, but a big stiff centre half, 6'2", 6'3", Jamie Vardy's going to smoke you every day of the week.
Mike Jones is the referee. He's just had to deal with an appeal from Manchester City for a penalty kick on Raheem Sterling, in which Wilfred Ndidi was accused of knocking him to the floor. If it had been given, it would have been soft. I think that might be the fair description. Ball is cleared out on the far side and away for a throw-in. Jamie Vardy now has scored in each of his last 4 Premier League games. It's his longest streak since his record-breaking 11-game run in Leicester City's title-winning season.
Yeah, you'd be absolutely devastated if you took him out your fantasy football this morning, wouldn't you?
You didn't do that, did you?
I didn't, mate. No, I'm not silly enough to do that. But Deck, our producers, took him out.
Did he?
He was bragging about it on the way to the
He's always bragging.
Yeah, he took him out. Silly boy.
Oh, dear. I kept Raheem in. Here's Vardy running through the centre once again after a long ball forward. Again, it's no problem for Ederson, who just pops it off on the volley to the left-hand side, and Laporte brings it away for Manchester City.
It's like having an extra player, isn't he? Like, that's why City are so far ahead. They've actually got another footballer on the pitch. He's been the best signing of the season for me.
10 minutes to go before half-time. 1-1 the score. Here's Sterling, who's just misplaced that pass in front of De Bruyne. And Leicester City can now try and escape on the counter-attack. Well, Walker used his hand there. The referee hasn't pulled that back. It's turned over, and here's Sterling running forward, getting past Ndidi, drawing the foul. It's a free kick, 7 or 8 yards outside the area on the left-hand side in Kevin De Bruyne territory.
I think they've got an argument for handball. I'm not sure how much Kyle Walker knows about it, but it does seem to pop up and hit his hand, and I think it is a foul. Indeed, he kicks the back of Sterling's heel and does impede him. So, good opportunity here for Kevin De Bruyne to show his quality again. No doubt off the back of us saying that, Sam, he'll hit the first man and be headed out.
They've pushed it back quite far, actually. I thought the offence was a little bit closer to goal than this. This is actually now 12 yards away from the edge of the area. It's right-footed from De Bruyne in towards Otamendi, who'd escaped and was free inside the 18-yard box, and he didn't get a touch on it, fortunately, for Kasper Schmeichel, who was grateful to see it nestle in his arms.
And you know, I was just going to say before that, I actually think it's better for De Bruyne and his style of delivery to be further away, because it allows him to get the trajectory of whipping it up and down and creating that pace on it. And as it proved, it was a lovely ball in, albeit slightly ahead of Otamendi. So I had to go here for saying it was a good ball. Is it a good ball in if it goes straight into the keeper?
Well, Otamendi was very close to getting a touch which could have taken it beyond the goalkeeper.
Well, that's a great ball in, isn't it? than if he does get a touch on it. But is it actually a good ball in if nobody touches it?
But if it's the attacking player's fault for not getting on the end of it, how can he be blamed for that?
Well, I'm saying to you, it goes straight into the keeper's hands.
Okay.
So if you have a shot at goal and it goes over, is it a good shot at goal?
No, that's a bad shot.
Even if you get a big ooh.
Here's Silva down the right-hand side. Back to Walker. Walker went to cross, got to the edge of the area, and he now will cross. He clips it to the far post, looking for Sterling. It's over the top of his head, and it's out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. 37 minutes gone. It's TalkSport. It's Manchester City 1, Leicester City 1. Over on TalkSport 2 right now, by the way. The full-time phone-in with Dan Windle and Perry Groves. But you're listening to Matchday Live with me, Sam Matterface, and Joey Barton on TalkSport. And we've got more commentaries for you tomorrow, including Villa against Birmingham. That kicks off early in the day. Fantastic game. Adam Bridge and Dean Ashton will bring you Huddersfield against Bournemouth on TalkSport, while that one's going on TalkSport 2. And following that, it's Newcastle against Manchester United at St James Park tomorrow, which will also be a very good game. Rugby League, Castleford Widnes, that's also on 2 tomorrow. And on Tuesday night, live football from the Champions League returns. Juventus versus Spurs is on TalkSport from 7 o'clock on Tuesday. Over on TalkSport 2, Basel against Manchester City, isn't it? Not Manchester United. Here is Fernandinho running up towards the edge of the penalty area. It's cleared away by Manchester City, and then Maguire turns it over and sends it towards the left. And now it's Bernardo Silva, who's running away from Adrian Silva, trying to send it down the right channel, looking for Aguero. It's gobbled up by Kasper Schmeichel.
They related?
No.
Oh, teammates over Portugal.
Teammates. There's loads of Silvers, though, isn't there?
Loads of silver?
There's loads of silver in Portugal. I'm going to Portugal, actually, this week.
All right.
With Liverpool.
All right.
Which is
playing? Porto?
Wednesday night, Porto. Yeah, that's also live on TalkSport.
Any stats about Porto for us?
No.
Saving them for Wednesday?
Saving them for Wednesday. Here's Diabate wandering to the edge of the area and managing to weave past Zinchenko and getting towards Jamie Vardy. Then there's a foul by Matty James, and the free kick is given on the edge of the area for Manchester City, and there's a degree of frustration for Leicester City, who thought that they were going to get an opportunity to get a shot on goal. It is 1-1.
Much better since they changed shape, I think.
It's still a different game, isn't it?
Totally different game. They're getting possession, they're building little phases of play, and it just looks like the back four are now more comfortable. There's a responsibility. You've got Harry Maguire and Dragovic in there who are going and taking responsibility, stepping in, getting pressure on Sergio Aguero.
How much credit does Claude Puel get then for tactically adapting?
Well,
being brave enough to do that midway through the first half.
Well, he should get credit, but to spot his own mistake is the key.
Here's Vardy on halfway, twirling and sending the ball high to the left, and Chilwell bursting into the left wing position, now trying to take on Kyle Walker. He gets to the byline. Can he produce the cross? Oh dear. I think he tried to play for a corner there, didn't he?
He was trying to play it off Kyle Walker's legs.
And it just dribbled into the arms of Ederson.
Kyle Walker just read it and just stepped out the way. Good defending. I mean, if he'd initially took a good touch, he took a poor touch. He tried to head it into his own path and ended up heading it slightly on a diagonal and behind him. So if he'd have took a header forward there, he might have had the opportunity to put a decent ball in the box.
60.
On the front foot here, Leicester, towards the end of the first half, Sam.
Fuchs has nabbed it on halfway, and they're coming again here, Leicester City. Chilwell this time cuts infield, being chased by Bernardo Silva, finds Vardy. Vardy tries to turn, but he's surrounded by two blue jerseys. One of them is Laporte, and he picks it up and pinches it and sends it forward. Sterling onto De Bruyne. Around white left is Silva. Silva with a cross into the box, away by Dragovic. It's picked up by Gundogan, though, 20 yards from the edge of the area. He sends it square into Silva, stroke left where De Bruyne is. He's up on the edge of the box and trying to get Sterling in. Sterling goes round the goalkeeper, pokes it wide. Well, it was a difficult angle, but it was a real chance for Manchester City to go back in front. He did the hard bit, which was reaching the pass from De Bruyne.
Good defending, mate. I actually think
he goes down the right-hand side. He goes round the goalkeeper, and yes, he pokes it goalwards, and it's a brilliant piece of defending, an excellent piece of defending, as it's poked goalwards. Dragovic just enough to get a deflection, take it wide.
Yeah, credit to Silva. He did the target there, but you know what he's just done really well there, Alexander Dragovic? He just read the situation. He realised he wasn't going to get there. Kasper Schmeichel might get there. So instead of going and getting attracted to the ball, he gets in and covers his goalkeeper, and that is what allows him the yard or the inch to get back and block that shot from Silva. But you can see by his celebration, he's given a little slight fist pump there. he knows he just saved his team a very important moment and saved a goal.
Raheem Sterling could have had 2 goals in this game after last week's blushes, but he has one, and it's 1-1 at the moment, and we've got 4 minutes before half-time. You're listening to Talk Sport, and we're live at the Etihad Stadium, and Joey Barton is here as well. And I don't know if you heard it, a great montage of the points from last week ahead of the Everton game that the Matchday Live boys did. It was brilliant before the game today. Until the game kicked off.
Tough game for me last week.
Tough game for you?
Yeah, tough game. I was emotionally wounded.
Not as tough as it was for the Everton team. Well, they didn't do much, did they? Which is what upset Sam Allardyce afterwards. Here's Gundogan down the right, looking for Aguero, trying to get into the 18-yard box. He turns it back to Walker. Walker looks up, was ready to cross, didn't do so. On to Bernardo Silva. He then takes it on, comes back to his left where Fernandinho picks up the charge. He runs to the right, and Ndidi snaps into a tackle, wins it off Walker, then decides to give it back to him again. And Walker, now down by the corner flag, is on his knees, is pushed by Ndidi for a kick.
Just stupid, that. Did exceptionally well to get the other side of Walker, wins the ball back. Don't know what he's trying to do there, Wilfred and Ndidi, but gives Walker the opportunity to press him. He does that, turns it over, and then he just jumps all over his back and gives a stupid free kick away. And now offer Manchester City, with Kevin De Bruyne's quality, the opportunity to put a dangerous ball into your box.
And Kevin De Bruyne has this free kick 2 yards in from the right touchline and 3 yards back from the byline. Just a little bit better than a corner, this. It's got Bernardo Silva has wandered towards him. He's got the end of the first 45 minutes. Leicester City, who have just regained their composure after what was a really difficult start. They conceded after 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Raheem Sterling with the goal. A carbon copy of the opportunity that he missed last week against Burnley. He scored it this week, though. And then after what seemingly looked like Manchester City were going to power away from Leicester, Leicester got back in because of a mistake in midfield by Manchester City. As a result of that, Claude Puel tinkered with the formation. Since then, it's just sort of stemmed the flow a little bit, and it's 1-1 going into the half-time break here. And Leicester, who have been a little bit dodgy away from home, have only lost once in 2018 in 8 games.
He's done a good job, Claude Puel. You know, a few raised eyebrows when he got the job because of his Southampton tenure, but I think he's answered a few of his critics. You know, Leicester weren't in the greatest league position when he took over, and now they're comfortably looking like the group the team that's going to finish behind the big 6.
Don't rule out Everton just yet, Joe.
I'm not ruling Everton out, mate, but have you seen Everton last week, as we did, emotionally? Everything, they were devoid of everything last week.
Interesting, though, he did say in the interview to me afterwards, their season won't be defined by the games against Arsenal. They'll be defined against the games in and around, the teams in and around them in the Premier League, which is almost everybody else apart from the top 6.
I agree with you, Sam, and it won't be, but you still got to go and show some pride. You know, you've got fellas who've worked all week and women who've worked all week there, who've got off the couch first thing Saturday morning, travelled all the way to London to pay to watch a game of football, and then they just don't compete. They're 4-0 down after, what, 30 minutes, 25 minutes?
Well, I thought that was going to be the situation that Leicester City found themselves in here, but it hasn't turned out like that. 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. Here's Gundogan inside the area. The ball pops up and he volleys it goalwards, but doesn't catch it right at all, and it goes straight into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel away to our right.
We've seen with Leicester, you know, they were still putting bodies, they were still challenging, competing. Everton last week, and let's be honest, 5-1 flat at Everton. If Arsenal had bothered turned up second half, they were crap second half, Arsenal. Could have been 8-9-1. Well, I said to you early doors, what's the record in the league this season? Because you could just tell the way they warmed up, the way they went about the business. And look, they've won today. It's a great 3 points to have on the board and takes the pressure off Everton a little bit. But you know, the reality of it is they've got to turn up and perform.
Half time here. Diabate just fouled over on the far side, but the referee Mike Jones decides not to give the free kick. He blows the half-time whistle instead. It was the first half that actually started really quickly for Manchester City, who were on the front foot right from the very beginning. They got themselves in front through Raheem Sterling, who did score after missing a sitter last week. But Leicester City have clawed their way back into the game. And at the break, Adrian, it is Manchester City 1, Leicester City 1.
Later tonight, TalkSport 2 live commentary from La Liga, Real Madrid against Real Sociedad. Sunday, we have some Premier League commentaries for you. 12 noon on TalkSport. Huddersfield against Bournemouth tomorrow. Straight after that on TalkSport, Newcastle against Manchester United. If you want the second city derby, Aston Villa against Birmingham, TalkSport 2, 12 noon. Do not miss that. And Valencia Levante from La Liga, TalkSport 2 tomorrow evening at 7:45. Champions League next week as well. Spurs away to Juventus, TalkSport on Tuesday. And it is Manchester City away to Basel, TalkSport 2 on the same evening on Tuesday night. Right, let's check on the half-time odds with Betfair.
Get ready for more on TalkSport with Betfair. Go to betfair.com. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Barry Orr from Betfair. Well, Man City went one up. We thought they were going to cruise it. 1-1. Who knew?
Yeah, they were 16-1 on when they went one up. They're still 3-1 on to go and get all 3 points here, Adrian. It's 12-1 Leicester City, 16-5 the draw. 25 pence pre-match bet in the draw. Cash out now for 37 quid. In correct score betting, if you think it's going to stay 1-1, that's a 6-1 chance. A 2-1 win for City, 11-4. A 2-1 win for Leicester, 18-1.
Wow, 2-1 Leicester, 18-1. Barry, thank you very much. Checking on the odds with Betfair.
Get ready for more on TalkSport with Betfair. Go to betfair.com. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Big and easy win for Ireland against Italy earlier in Dublin. What's happening in the big one at Twickenham? TalkSport's Russ Hargreaves.
Still really close, Adrian. 18 to go. England 12, Wales 3. The same scorers at half-time, but so much has happened since. England with 2 players off the field injured. Back row are Sam Simmons and wing Anthony Watson, the latter, as he danced close to scoring what would have been a third crucial try for the home team. Sam Underhill and Jack Noel on, and Underhill moments ago with an incredible cover tackle to deny Wales their first try of the game. Scott Williams, the centre, bursting down the left-hand side. Everyone thought he was going to score, and Underhill came charging across to just tap him into touch shy of the line. We've seen Shingler with a good run for the away team, Brown with a good run for the home team. There's so much drama and intensity at Twickenham, even if the scoring has dried up. And 2 tries, of course, mean England lead from Johnny May in the first half. Wales still coming hard, England clinging on a tad. 17 to go at Twickenham. England 12, Wales 3.
Well, during this half-time interval, Man City 1, Leicester 1. We're going to hear from Arsene Wenger and Mauricio Pochettino after Spurs won the North London derby. We'll hear from Paul Lambert, the Stoke manager, and Chris Hughton, the Brighton manager, after they shared a 1-1 draw. Carlos Carvajal won again. We'll hear from him. And David Moyes after West Ham got a win. We'll also hear from Sam Allardyce and Roy Hodgson after Everton beat Palace 3-1. It's all coming up on TalkSport.
The Winter Survival Deal from Domino's. Any large pizza, garlic pizza bread, wedges and cookies for $15.99. It's the official food of getting ready to go out on the town. But it's also the official food of getting ready to go into hibernation and see out the rest of the winter months wrapped in a duvet on the sofa, like some kind of domesticated millennial grizzly bear. Domino's, the official food of everything.
Subject to availability. Participating stores only. T's and C's apply. See dominoes.co.uk.
Hi, I know you own a small business and I'm wondering if you're interested in some very well-paid new work. Funnily enough, did you know that about 59% of new customers don't leave a voicemail? Luckily, I'm not one of them. So call me on 074...
Don't cut off new business. Manage and divert your calls with eReceptionist so you'll never miss an opportunity again. Sign up for a free 30-day trial now at eReceptionist.co.uk. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
Don't miss Chelsea versus Hull City on Friday the 16th of February in the FA Cup 5th round at Stamford Bridge. Tickets are priced just £30 adults, £15 kids, and are available from chelseafc.com or by ringing 0371 811 1905. Chelsea versus Hull City in the FA Cup 5th round, Friday the 16th of February. To get your tickets, visit chelseafc.com today.
Do you like helping people in need? Could you help a childless couple start a family? If you're a healthy man aged 18 to 45, the Fertility Centre at Whittington Health would like to talk to you about becoming a fertility donor. To give the gift of life, please call or text 07979 548 183 or Google Whittington Fertility. That's 07979 548 183 or Google Whittington Fertility.
Matchday live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. The dedicated Sky Sports football channel features live football from around the globe, including the Carabao Cup Final, SPFL, La Liga and more. Sport Premier League channel.
Get more from football with Betfair's Odds Boost. More edge of the seat action. more drama, more last-minute winners. Get 15-2 on Sanchez and Firmino both to score this Sunday with Betfair. Odds boost from Betfair. Are you ready for more?
Available pre-match and on sportsbook only. £50 max bet. Cash out unavailable. Full times at betfair.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
It's half-time. And in the last 45 minutes, one man has died of prostate cancer in the UK. Here's how you can help. Text the word TEAM to 70004 and donate £5 to help Prostate Cancer UK fund research to reach their goal of relegating prostate cancer forever. We'll send you a Prostate Cancer UK badge, as worn by the Beautiful Game's top managers, players and supporters. Help stop prostate cancer being a killer. Text costs £5 plus your standard network rate.
A new Vauxhall Vivaro comes with 4 years 0% APR representative, up to 4 years warranty and 4 years servicing and roadside assistance. It's easy to drive, easy on the wallet and even easier on the eye. That leaves you free to do more of what you do best. Less getting the van sorted, more getting the job done. Search Vauxhall Vivaro. Conditional sale, 4 years 0% APR representative, minimum 20% deposit plus VAT at 20% on total price. Financed by Vauxhall Finance, subject to status, 18 plus. T's and C's, mileage limitations and exclusions apply.
Over the last 15 years, thousands of Spanish properties have been sold to UK buyers. Unbelievably, many of these properties were never even built. Unbelievably, that is, unless one of them was yours. We're Reclaim in Spain, and if you paid a deposit only to end up with nothing, we could get your money back. We're experts in recovering money lost on Spanish properties. To find out more, visit reclaiminspain.com.
Social media is a terrible thing, isn't it? You get tagged in some embarrassing photo, and in an instant, your other half's commented on it. Is that my dress you're wearing? But there's one thing you want to find online. blackcircles.com. They give you big brand tyres at amazing prices, then arrange for them to be fitted at a garage near you, meaning I won't get any oil on this rather nice dress of hers.
Great deals on Avon tyres this month. So visit blackcircles.com, choose Avon tyres, and click Fit and Save.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade-quality building products. In February, we've got a 25-kilogram bag of Thistle multi-finish for only £4.59 ex-VAT. Now that's a real deal. We've got even more real deals and thousands of products in stock at Selco Builders Warehouse. To find your nearest branch, go to selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
Philip Schofield wouldn't dream of putting anyone out, would you, Phil?
No. No.
No. At WeBuyAnyCar.com, we don't want to put anyone out either. That's why you're able to get an online quote in under 60 seconds, and you could have your car sold an hour later.
That's handy, gotta say.
Nope, you're handy, Phil. Enter your edge now at WeBuyAnyCar.com. So quick, so simple, so Schofield.
Times based on averages from existing customer data. Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info.
Bringing you every goal from every game all season long.
Matchday Live on Talk Sport.
Well, back for the second half shortly. Man City 1, Leicester 1 live on Talk Sport. First live commentary of the day on Talk Sport was the North London derby at Wembley, and Harry Kane decided it.
Forward strides Ben Davies, clips the ball into the area. Kane! Spurs make the breakthrough! And Harry Kane makes a start on a second century of Tottenham Hotspur goals. Spurs 1, Arsenal 0.
Mauricio, congratulations. The unbeaten run continues. Was it a bit nervy at the end, though? You'd got one goal up and they nearly got him back to 1-1.
That is football because, when you not kill the games, when you create a lot of chance and no score, always is open the game because Arsenal have unbelievable player and great player. Always is important to kill when you have the possibility. But I think it's a great result for us, amazing performance, and we are so happy.
Arsene, many commiserations, another away defeat, but how was that performance different from the last two?
I felt that we played well in the first half, especially. The regret I had at halftime is we didn't use well our final ball, and we had 3 or 4 opportunities with 3 against 2 that you cannot miss at that level. The second half, once we were 1-0 down, you could feel we were destabilized and exposed to counter-attacks, and then for a while we were lucky to stay at 1-0.
Ian Danter commentating and asking the questions of the two managers. Spurs up to third with that win, 7 points ahead of Arsenal, who is sixth. Mesut Ozil had one of his notorious days off when the big game arrives. Mkhitaryan dragged off with nearly half an hour to go. Lacazette came on and couldn't finish his dinner. 1-0 flat as Arsenal. They were awful. They missed Aaron Ramsey. Never thought I'd say that. At the other end of the table, 6 points now separates second bottom from 10th in the table. It's incredible down there. Stoke's Charlie Adam had a late penalty saved as Stoke drew at home to Brighton. It means they stay in the bottom three, Stoke. Adam and Heze had fought over who should take the spot kick. Adam won, but turned out to be the loser.
What a massive penalty this is for Stoke City. Adam comes forward, shoots, he's saved. Will he score the rebound? No, he hasn't. He's been fouled, but it's gone wide. And Matty Ryan's the hero for Brighton and Hove Albion in the 90th minute.
The way I look at that is they want to score and they want to win the game, which I think is important. I'd be more worried if everybody shied away from it. But they were big enough to go up there and hit it, and Charlie scored against Coventry a few weeks ago, I think, before we came in. So yeah, that's football. That's the way football works. It was a big moment, and obviously we've not took it.
Stoke boss Paul Lambert there. The Brighton manager Chris Hughton felt his side deserved to win.
We were the side that had the better chances, sort of very good in that first half period. We knew that we'd come under pressure in the second half because of the quality that they've got, and probably their most dangerous player on the day was Shaqiri, and it's difficult to stop him every time. So probably that's the disappointment. But I think there isn't anybody that would begrudge us certainly the point, and I thought we were worthy of all 3 points.
Now, only one defeat in 11 since Carlos Carvajal took over at Swansea. It's now 4 wins in 6 for the Swans. They're up to 15th. It would have been 14th, but for a late consolation goal for Palace at Everton. That's how tight it is in the bottom half. More on that Everton game later. But at the Liberty, it took a late goal from Key to unlock Burnley, the South Koreans' first goal for nearly 2 years.
We're now well over the minimum 4 minutes of stoppage time, and Swansea set for a third successive home victory, and they get it. They've beaten Liverpool, they've beaten Arsenal, and now they've beaten Burnley. Ki Sung-young with the late crucial goal here. It finished Swansea 1, Burnley 0.
We was in very bad position. We was in the deep of the sea, very deep on the sea, so very dark, just stones there. Even fishes, we don't see any fish there. But after the first time that we achieved the line of water was last week, as you know. So we put our nose out of the water and start breathing for the first time since long weeks. Even we are winning Liverpool and Arsenal, but was under the water.
He loves an analogy, doesn't he? The West Ham co-owner David Sullivan said in a statement before today's game that he wanted the fans to have more ups and downs than downs, rather, and the team delivered an up today. And Arnautovic back from injury with a goal to add to Javier Hernandez's first as the Hammers beat Watford 2-0.
Cresswell drives it across, keeper spills it, having got plenty on it, chance to finish it for Arnautovic, and he does! And surely that's the precious 3 points for West Ham United. It's Marco Arnautovic with his 7th goal of the season. The bubbles are flying inside the London Stadium, and no wonder they've soaked up the Watford pressure, and Arnautovic has turned it home from close range. It's West Ham 2, Watford 0.
Getting that second goal was so important. Because while it was 1-0, Watford were the better team at times in the second half, and we had to soak up a lot of pressure. I always felt that if we could get the right bit of play and the right break, we were a threat, which we were, I think, for long parts of the game. But definitely in the second half, getting the second goal made a big difference.
Here at Goodison, Tom Davies got his first goal of the season as Everton beat Palace 3-1. Sam Allardyce enjoyed watching his players being more clinical.
I think from a taking the chances point of view, we finally found the right way to take those chances in the second half. Having probed an awful lot in the first without getting the reward that we needed, we got the 3 goals up and sent everybody home very happy. And our home form is very good. Our home results are very good. Our points per game is very good. It's 8 games at home since I've been here. That's 17 points, Brian tells me, and that's a really, really good home record that we have. We have to keep that up, so we know the one thing we need to change and get better, and that's just the away results now.
Palace level on points now with Swansea, 2 points above the bottom 3. Roy Hodgson was OK, though, with a Palace performance.
Absolutely not disappointed with them at all. I'm sad that we didn't get a result, because I thought at half-time we were more than capable of getting a result. But it's all about goals, and Everton got them when we didn't, so they win the game. But there's no question for me of being disappointed in the team. I thought they did as much as I expected them to do.
And 2 footnotes from the game. Morgan Schneiderlin came on as sub and was booed by some Everton fans, and Roy Hodgson confirmed afterwards that Sam Allardyce had called him on Thursday to apologise for things said after England's Euro 2016 defeat. You're up to date in the Premier League. With the rest, here's Susan Spence.
Thanks, Adrian. Wolves continue their march towards the Premier League, winning 2-1 against QPR at Molineux to go 13 points clear at the top of the Sky Bet Championship. Second place Derby could only manage a 1-0 home draw with Norwich. 2 second-half own goals allowed struggling Sunderland to come from 3-0 down to draw 3-0 at playoff contenders Bristol City. Bolton ended Fulham's bid for a 6th successive league victory with a 1-0 draw at the Macron. New Leeds boss Paul Heckingbottom lost his first game in charge, 2-1 at Sheffield United. His former side Barnsley drew 1-0 at home to Sheffield Wednesday in the other Yorkshire derby. Hull won 2-0 at Forest, their first victory since December. Struggling Reading lost again, this time 2-1 at Middlesbrough, and it ended in a draw at Brentford Preston and Ipswich Burton. Holders Celtic are into the Scottish Cup quarter-finals with a 3-2 win over Partick Thistle. There were no shocks as fifth-tier Brora Rangers lost 4-1 at Scottish Premiership side Kilmarnock. Falkirk beat Cove Rangers 3-1, and there were wins for Hearts, Motherwell and Morton. There's more on talksport.com.
On digital radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. Talk Sport.
So we're about to get the second half underway at the Etihad. Man City won, Leicester won. 2 England internationals, Sterling and Vardy with the goals, and what with Kane getting the winner at Wembley earlier, live on TalkSport. England all set to win the World Cup. And then I woke up. It's live and exclusive right now to national radio, only on TalkSport with Joey Barton and Sam Matterface.
Yeah, I wouldn't ever suggest that you're getting ahead of yourself there, Adrian. Maybe that's a little bit far-fetched to think that that will be the case just yet. He suggested that because Vardy, Kane and Sterling all on the score sheet today, we're going to win the World Cup.
Steady aid.
Right, welcome back.
Haven't got to keep it at the minute. No one can keep a clean sheet, can they?
Edison can't get in the Brazilian team. Maybe we can try and convince him.
We'll have him. Nationalise him, sharpish.
Yeah.
Like the rugby union do. Just nationalise. We'll have him. Must have some keeper if he can't get in the national side, because he's top draw for
Alisson of Roma, who's done very, very well. There's going to be a change here at Manchester City's Etihad Stadium, but not for the home team, for the away side. And I don't think we're too surprised to see Danny Simpson. Here's Don McGuinness.
Well, yeah, Danny Simpson was going through the motions, rigorous warm-up at half-time. He was pretty much stripped and ready for action before leaving the field to come out with his teammates. He is on. Adrian Silva is the man that makes way. Right back. He will be in a more usual position now. So Simpson on, Silva off.
Underway then in the second half. We've just started here. It's Manchester City 1, Leicester City 1. And Manchester City in those light blue jerseys, white shorts, light blue socks. Shooting from right to left. It's all black for Leicester City today. And I'll go through the 2-11s for you, with Manchester City starting with Edison in goal. A back four of Walker, Laporte, Otamendi and Zinchenko. And then Fernandinho, De Bruyne and Gundogan. Sterling, Aguero and Bernardo Silva is on the ball down the right-hand side, looking for De Bruyne, who gets it into the area, looking for Aguero. It's hacked away by Leicester and out on the far side. They've got Schmeichel in goal. The right back now is Simpson. Then it's Maguire, Dragovic and Fuchs. In midfield, all Brighton and Ndidi, James. And the left winger now is Chilwell. Diabate's behind Vardy in attack. Although at the moment Vardy looks as if he's being more and more isolated, and on the right side actually is Diabate. But here he is, Vardy, trying to get in behind Laporte, who watches that and clears it away. The offside flag was up anyway. So it's Manchester City 1, Leicester City 1, and these two teams were slugging it out towards the end of the first half, and it started like that in the second, with Gundogan on to Bernardo Silva. Poor ball back. Matty James then gives it straight back to Fuchs in a really dangerous position. It's cleared to halfway, and Laporte sends it out wide left. Sterling takes it on, moves towards the edge of the area, skates along the grass, and then he runs into Dragovic. Good defending by him, not for the first time, and it's cleared away by Leicester.
Yeah, sloppy Leicester again. They've just been guilty of causing their own problems here. They've just been sloppy with the ball. Fuchs first, and ball goes into Chilwell there. Vardy had just stretched the Manchester City back line, so he was saying to his teammates, look, I'm not in position to chase this. And as it was, they just played aimless balls into the middle where they thought Vardy was going to be. And Manchester City, because they defend with such a high defensive line, just step in and win the ball.
Gundogan flicks it onto Aguero, tries to nudge it back to the German, who runs on into the 18-yard area but can't edge it past Dragovic. It's cleared away by Leicester City up to Diabate. He absolutely incenses Claude Puel. I've actually seen him with emotion there, Claude Puel, which is quite a surprise.
He was unlucky there, Diabate. If the first touch would have been better, he was away from Zinchenko as it was. He kind of trampled on the ball that went behind him and allowed Zinchenko the opportunity to get back and dispossess him.
De Bruyne onto Zinchenko, back to De Bruyne again, slowly meanders centrally and then gets it back off Fernandinho, runs forward again and finds Sterling, back onto De Bruyne, lovely ball to the far post, too easy for Aguero, who nets beyond Kasper Schmeichel. It's a world-class ball from Kevin De Bruyne, which sets up an unmissable opportunity for Sergio Aguero. Well, he hits seventh heaven. He's scored in a 7th straight home game for the first time in his City career, but he has got only one man to thank, and that's Kevin De Bruyne. City 2, Leicester City 1.
You said world class there, Sam. For me, that's beyond world class. That pass that Kevin De Bruyne has just played there, well, it's not even a pass, the gift he's just given Sergio Aguero is beyond world class. There's not many players in the world, firstly, that see that, and secondly, have the ability to be able to put that where he's put it. It's the only place he could put the ball where Kasper Schmeichel couldn't come out and take it, and Harry Maguire couldn't get his toe on the end of it. And after that, it's a piece of cake. I mean, Aguero does his best to try and miss it. He hits it straight at Kasper Schmeichel, but such is his proximity to the goal that he stood absolutely no chance. Kevin De Bruyne, I mean, his first assist of this afternoon was world class, and for me that was beyond it. It shows why he should and probably will win all the personal accolades, as well as probably a couple of personal team trophies.
What an amazing delivery. He hits it with almost the outside of his right foot, and it sort of curls away from the goalkeeper. The defender going was too frightened to touch it, can't touch it, and it goes through to Aguero, who only 5 yards out just stabs it goalwards. And yeah, it was quite close to Kasper Schmeichel, but such was the closeness to the goal and the power with which he hit it, there was no chance for Kasper Schmeichel, and it's 2-1 to Manchester City in a blink of an eye. And Kevin De Bruyne grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck and helping Manchester City get into a lead.
Yeah, you're kind of happy. I've worked for managers before who don't allow or don't like you to let players come inside and square you up. So a right-footed player, for instance, coming in from the left side, taking a touch inside you and then hitting a cross or hitting a shot towards your goal, they would much prefer you to stand them up and allow them to go outside. Because usually, so for instance, if Danny Simpson would have allowed Kevin De Bruyne to go outside of him, De Bruyne takes it outside of him, then he hits a left-footed cross which has, the curl on it's taking it away from the goal. But as it is there, he stands him up. It's a good little 1-2 with Sterling. He stands him up, he allows him to come inside, and then he just puts a ball in. As you say, Harry Maguire can't touch it because firstly he's going to be full stretch and he's probably going to put it in his own goal, and Kasper Schmeichel can't get to it. But look, there's not many players in world football who can play that kind of ball that Kevin De Bruyne has.
Gundogan onto Kevin De Bruyne, who takes it round the defender, and it comes back out to the edge of the area. Sterling's got it from Gundogan, cuts infield, runs into Albrighton. Albrighton says, I didn't foul him. Mike Jones concurs.
That was Dele Alli. He'd have been getting pelters tomorrow. Sterling, he's a lot stronger boy than that, and he looks to bite the dust very early for me.
Ball is back with Manchester City again. They lead by 2-1, courtesy of a goal from Sergio Aguero. It's the 7th consecutive home game in which he has scored. It's Fernandinho trying to charge his way through the heart of the Leicester midfield, gets into the area. He was being tugged and pushed, and then he fell over, struck the ball. As he was falling, it goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Manchester City 2, Leicester City 1 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that you can see that Sergio Aguero goal on the Sky Sports app at no extra cost if you're a Sky TV customer with Sky Sports. We've had a look at the Raheem Sterling bomb. Is it a bump or is it a barge? What is it?
He's shoulder to shoulder, and he's just jumped on the floor and asked Mike Jones a question. It's never been a penalty, but I don't get what's diving and what's not diving, because for me that's that. If we're going to say we're going to do people for diving, then Dele Alli gets a yellow card and doesn't get any game suspension. It's a clear dive at Anfield last week. And that's diving, simulation, trying to win a penalty.
The retrospective panel can only give punishment out if it's a penalty-winning situation, so that they have to get a penalty for it. So if otherwise you can't take any action. A referee on field could have given him a yellow card there after the game was then stopped later on after the advantage had gone for Leicester City, but he didn't do that. The difficulty, Sam, is there is contact. There's not enough contact to send him over. So if you look at it by the letter of the law, he does make contact with him. But Kasper Schmeichel under a bit of a pressure here as the ball's played back to him. Aguero trying to shut him down. It works its way to Fernandinho, then De Bruyne onto Aguero, takes it wide, right-footed shot, saved by Kasper Schmeichel. No, it's not. Too much force on the effort. He got his left hand out to it, but couldn't stop it from sneaking beyond him. He thought he'd prevented it from going in at the near post, but it came off the bottom of his hand, bounced down behind him and rolled into the net. And Manchester City are pulling away from Leicester here. And I've got to be honest with you, it started with a bit of overplaying at the back from Leicester. They gifted the ball back to Manchester City, who then opened them up rather too easily. And Aguero applied the finishing touch. It's Manchester City 3, Leicester City 1.
A hat-trick of assists for that man, Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, that one's more straightforward. Kasper Schmeichel will be absolutely fuming that he's let that in. It's a save a keeper of his calibre should make comfortably. But it all come from Kyle Walker. Ball's played into the corner. I think it's Fuchs who goes after it. Kyle Walker sprints fully 40-50 yards to put him under pressure. He plays a hurried ball in turn, then back to Kasper Schmeichel, who scuffs a clearance into the middle of the park where City's Fernandinho picks it up, plays a ball into Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne picks out Aguero, and it's in the back of your net. There's a lot of things that get said about this City side, but as we were talking about earlier, Sam, their application when they don't have the ball, their intensity, the desire to get the ball back or to cause you to give them the ball back, when they don't have it, is the reason they're head and shoulders above everybody this season.
Let's go down to the touchline. An observation from Don McGuinness.
Well, it's quite interesting to see that since that third goal went in, Riyad Mahrez has come out and has started to warm up now, and he's already taken his tracky bottoms off as well. I don't know whether we're going to see him and whether he could influence the game at this level now. Not when you've got Kevin De Bruyne doing the De Bruyne banana ball, and then obviously, well, we can do whatever he wants at the moment, can't he? But Riyad Mahrez is warming up. Will we see him?
Full time in the rugby, England taking on Wales. Which way did it go? Talk Sports, Russell Hargreaves.
England clung on. It was England 12, Wales 6, Sam, but Wales coming so hard at the end. They got a penalty to close the gap to 6 points, courtesy of Gareth Anscombe. Scott Williams nearly scored on 61 minutes, denied by a brilliant tackle from replacement Sam Underhill. And Steph Evans so close toward the death as well. Couldn't quite dot the ball down as it dribbled into touch. England dominated large periods of the game, clinging on at the end, but they've made it 2 wins from 2 thanks to 2 tries in the first half from Johnny May. Great atmosphere at an enthralled Twickenham. Full-time score. England 12, Wales 6.
Pep Guardiola's just having a word with Aymeric Laporte, who is called over towards the near touchline. City have won a corner away to our left. They lead by 3-1. Taken short by Gundogan, who won it into De Bruyne, who tries to flip it past Dragovic, but wins the corner instead. It's corner number 5 of the afternoon for Manchester City, who lead by those 3-1. Here is Sterling onto Gundogan. Gundogan down that left-hand side trying to chase it. Across comes Danny Simpson and scoops it out of play on this near touchline and away for a throw. Manchester City absolutely now in control of this game. They've come out in this second half with renewed purpose, Joey Barton.
Yeah, they have. I mean, Leicester have given them a helping hand, but I mean, the ball from De Bruyne is such high-level technician, such a high-level technician that you can't do anything but wax lyrical over it. There's nobody else on this pitch who could do what he did to unlock that Leicester defence and put City in the lead. And now they're starting to buzz, and you'd expect them to go and showboat a little bit. If I was Pep Guardiola, I'd have one eye on the Champions League game. I'd probably be protecting Sergio Aguero due to the fact that Gabriel Jesus is slightly a few days away, a few weeks away maybe, and I'd be taking that man De Bruyne off. From Claude Puel's perspective, we have to say he's got it wrong again. They go in at half-time, even though Albrighton's the full-back, they're comfortable for the 10 minutes when he makes the tactical change. For some reason, he brings Danny Simpson on. You know, De Bruyne's ball is top draw, but it does come from the side that Simpson's now on, and the 3-1 down, and it's looking like game over.
Schmeichel just kicked it straight to Sterling, who runs at the 18-yard box down the left side, pulls it through the area. Arriving is Gundogan, deflection sends it over the top from the retreating Albrighton, and it's out for another corner. But they have been the masters of their own downfall on a couple of occasions here, Leicester City, and Kasper Schmeichel's kicking has twice come under scrutiny. That kick straight to Sterling, which sparked the attack for Manchester City, and it could have been a lot worse for them.
I mean, it's tough against City, Sam, because they do condense the pitch, as we spoke about earlier. They do put you under pressure, as we've seen with for the third goal. Kyle Walker, you'll see it back tonight probably on the replays. Just watch Kyle Walker's reaction. How intent he is on getting pressure on him.
Here's Otamendi with a header from the corner kick from De Bruyne, and he rises and heads it goalwards. It just goes narrowly wide of the right-hand upright as Kasper Schmeichel looks at it. It was an outswinger from De Bruyne towards the penalty spot, really, just in front of that, where Otamendi connected with it, and it went in the end about 3 or 4 yards wide of the post. It was always curling away from Kasper Schmeichel's goal, but it remains 3-1 to Manchester City, and what a fantastic second 45 minutes I think they're going to have here. 58 now on the clock. They lead by 2 clear goals again. Riyad Mahrez is warming up down in front of us.
And do you know what's winding me up? I mean, we talk about tactics, and it's a lot easier obviously from up here, Sam, but every goal kick they get, Leicester, they aim it at Kyle Walker, he's got springs in his heels. You know, you've got the other side, Zinchenko's a young kid making his way in the game. He does look a little bit naive at times in terms of his positioning, his ball watching, and they haven't really got him under pressure because they've got Diabate this side, who's not the most physical target. I mean, why not put Ndidi out here and just aim it at him, because there's no doubt he'll beat Zinchenko in the air. But to kick it at Kyle Walker, in my book, is naive, and it's clearly something they've worked on in training. It's not going to work. He's winning every header. Claude Puel, I think, has to take some accountability, well, probably all of the accountability, because the changes he's made, the starting lineup he selects is wrong. They go 1-0 down. Get back in it with a bit of great play from Vardy and maybe a mistake from Man City. And he tweaks it again at half-time. 10 minutes later, the 2-1 down.
Here is Sterling, away to our left-hand side. Don't forget you can see that Sergio Aguero's second goal on the Sky Sports app. No cost extra for you if you're a Sky TV customer with Sky Sports. Here's Fernandinho onto De Bruyne, onto Aguero again. De Bruyne snaps into a tackle. It breaks for Albrighton, who waits and then gives it to Diabate. Matty James is joining the attack, and there's space for Vardy going through the centre if they can find him, and even more over on the far side for Chilwell, who tries to chip the ball, Vardy, out towards Chilwell, but Walker is there. Mistake by Otamendi. Vardy's got it now, looking for some help. Diabate skips past the challenger Fernandinho, tries to play in Chilwell. Good mopping up by Otamendi, but Leicester City come again down that left-hand side. We haven't played 15 minutes of the second half yet. It's 3-1 to Manchester City after it being 2-1 at half-time. The ball goes into the air. It's flicked behind, ahead of Chilwell by Fernandinho, and it's out for a corner, the second only of the game, to Leicester City.
I know they got Ball on Wednesday night in the Champions League, but if you were one of Europe's top sides, I mean, as good as City can be, and you know we all know about the strengths of this side, there is a vulnerability about them. There is a real. They do give you opportunities, very seldom, but I think the big sides, you know, they mightn't buy into this imperious City, as we've seen at Anfield. You know, Liverpool managed to score 4 goals against them and showed that they can be vulnerable, and they do take chances.
There's going to be a change in just a second, because Riyad Mahrez has got his Leicester City kit on. He's going to come on at the Etihad, not for a Manchester City debut, but for another appearance in Leicester City colours. It's the first time we've seen him since January the 20th. Here's Don McGuinness.
Well, he is ready. There's going to be a double substitution because, again, an interesting one for City fans to take in. Obviously, there was the Mahrez story, the deal that didn't happen. He's about to take the field now in Leicester City colours. What kind of reaction will he get from the travelling Leicester fans as well? But also, Kelechi Iheanacho scored a load of goals here in limited appearances for Manchester City. He's not exactly set the game alight at Leicester, but he's going to come on as well. But Mahrez, it will be, who makes his way onto the field first off. He will replace Hosseini Diabate, and then, well, we'll just wait and see if Iheanacho's going to come on immediately. Puel's just had another word with him. I think he's probably going to wait a minute or two, but there we are. Well, Mahrez gets a good round of applause from the Leicester fans and then the City fans.
Everyone gives him a big clap.
I wonder if he swapped shirts at the end.
The other substitution, by the way, which is now taking place, is Ben Chilwell is coming off, and
disappointed with him today, Sam. I like Chilwell. I've seen him play a lot better than he has this afternoon. I thought he was a little bit wasteful in possession. Maybe the fact that whenever they have made the tactical alterations, he's been the one who's been shifted position. But big hopes for Chilwell. I think he'll go on to be a full international and be capped by his country, but he needs to play a lot better than he has done this afternoon.
Manchester City 3, Leicester City 1. You're listening to Talk Sport. Tomorrow, Aston Villa against Birmingham on 2. Huddersfield against Bournemouth on Talk Sport, followed immediately by Newcastle against Manchester United. Midweek action from the Champions League is blanket coverage. Tuesday and Wednesday night on Talk Sport and Talk Sport 2. And Joey Barton and Vinnie Jones on the breakfast show on Monday with Alan Brazil. All the football, all the time. You know it makes sense. This is Talk Sport. Manchester City looking to press home their advantage now. They certainly have made some noises about Riyad Mahrez after Saltgate came to fruition. One reference yesterday was suggesting that Pep might have gone a bit cold because he threw his ties out the pram, and he's now eyeing up Isco. But whatever happens, they're not going to stop spending, that's for sure. And they did have an unlikely ally in Unai Emery this week, who said it's good for modern football that PSG and City are constantly spending because it's challenging the dominance of Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be in the job beyond the summer, Unai, unless he wins that Champions League. I think he'll be out of a job for sure, because the expectation of those global powers now, which PSG have to consider themselves part of, if you don't win the Champions League, then it's a failed season, Sam.
It's Fernandinho clipping it forward towards Raheem Sterling, who got the wrong side of Simpson, who's now chasing him to the corner flag. He holds him off and uses his body well. Waits, drags it back, pulls it back into Gundogan. That was good work by him. Now Aguero played in the wrong side of Ndidi, tries to get a shot in at the near post when pulling it back might have been the better thing to do. It's over the top and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. 20 minutes on second half. The latest odds from Betfair, Matchday Live's official betting partner on Talk Sport. The correct score market right now: Manchester City to go on and win this 4-1, 21-10, 5-1, 11-2, 3-3 draw, 70-1. Cash out available on single accumulator bets. To take your winnings before the end of the match is available on selected markets. Conditions do apply. Betfair.com is the place for full terms and conditions. 18 plus, please gamble aware. Another substitution, the first of the day for Manchester City. Here's Talk Sports' Dom McGuinness.
Well, it is Danilo who's going to come on. He scored the goal at Burnley, then lost his place to Zinchenko for this one, but he gets a run out now. So Danilo on, Zinchenko off.
And the wisdom is that Zinchenko plays when there's not much defending to do, and Danilo plays when there's a bit more to do. And the fact that they brought on Riyad Mahrez means that they need a little bit more of a defensive helping hand, and Danilo's going to provide that. Is that the rationale?
Maybe. I mean, Zinchenko for me, he's got to step up. You know, I know he's a young boy learning his trade, but if City do have a weak link, it's probably that left-back slot at this moment in time, whether it be Delphin there or Zinchenko. And I think the sooner they get Benjamin Mendy back, I think the better, because he gives them that option of raiding down both sides. I mean, you're seeing the impact Walker has, Sam. I mean, his pace on both sides of the ball, really. You know, his defensive pace and his offensive pace, he just causes such problems. So to have the same happening down the left flank, which
Here's De Bruyne in towards the near post, looking for Gundogan, who's arriving late. That all started from Fernandinho's sweeping ball just on the edge of the centre circle, sent it out wide left. It was helped on by Sterling into De Bruyne, whose ball into the area was aimed towards Gundogan. He was beaten to it by a Leicester defender this time, and it's cleared out on the near side.
Yeah, when we're saying how good City could be, I think when they get two raiding fullbacks, you get that kind of that parallel offensive threat down both sides, because I feel at this moment in time they are kind of weighted towards that right-hand side, and Kyle Walker, when they get Mendy, who we've seen in his small amount of games which he had in the early part of the season, but he comes raiding down the left-hand side, given the same kind of width and delivery, I think City will go on again as a side. I think there's a lot more to come from this City side. You obviously got Gabriel Jesus, who'll come back into it, but I think this will be a concern for them. Sergio Aguero's
Well, he's just gone down on the near touchline, and he's holding on, I think, to his arm. I think that's what.
That's his hand. He might have broke a bone in his hand here, but
he just
there'll
seems
be panic stations. I did say take him off. Game's over. Take him off.
You did say protect him. Wrap him up in cotton wool. We've got to get to.
Kasper Schmeichel's got to save his goal, his first one anyway. Hits him in the armpit. Goes underneath his arm. Hits him in the armpit.
That was the. In fact, he should have saved both of them, shouldn't he? Really? I mean, the Kevin De Bruyne ball was so good that it was so close to him that it sort of.
He couldn't miss. Well, as we've seen with Sterling, Aguero couldn't miss. Not Sterling might have missed it, but Aguero, no chance. And then the second one, I think Kasper Schmeichel will be devastated he's conceded that, because at 2-1 you've always got a chance with a Jamie Vardy, now Mahrez on the pitch, Iheanacho on the pitch. But 3-1 you would have to say you'd be very, very surprised to see them get back in this from here, Sam.
Well, it's 3-1 and we're ticking the minutes away on TalkSport with 22 still to go, and Aguero, after being patched up, is now back on the field, and we're about to get underway with Danilo, who throws it into Sterling, who runs along the 18-yard line and then tucks it back to Gundogan, but it's behind him, and that sends him scurrying back towards that halfway line. It comes into the feet of Bernardo Silva. He then guides it back to Otamendi, and City, comfortable in possession and ready to assert their authority once again, just start to tinker forward down that right touchline. They're in no hurry to go on and get a fourth goal. They'll just wait, soak, wait, keep Leicester at bay, and then hit venomously very, very quickly. That's how they do it when they're in front. De Bruyne gives it straight to Mahrez. He's not on your team yet, mate. Mahrez turns it into Albrighton. Albrighton runs forward, and the referee gets in the way. Comes out to Simpson, who clips it down the right touchline. Not a great ball. Danilo comes across and wins it back for Manchester City, who lead by 3-1 earlier today. Good results for Tottenham Hotspur. They beat Arsenal. Everton beat Crystal Palace 3-1. Carlos Carvalho's had a good start. Swansea City. Oh, they've given it away here. Manchester City 2. Leicester's Jamie Vardy. He doesn't need any invitation to run down the right-hand side. He clips it to Mahrez. The ball into James is miscontrolled, and De Bruyne brings it clear for Manchester City. It's behind Gundogan, but he keeps hold of possession. He sends it wide to Walker, who speeds forward now. A rapid pace. He's got Aguero in front of him. On the right side, he's got support from Bernardo Silva. It's tucked back to Gundogan instead. Gundogan slows things down, waits. It's into Walker from Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva looking to tease the ball out to the far side. Kevin De Bruyne is waiting for it. He wants it played out towards the back post area. Bernardo Silva tight to the touch on the far side, been hemmed in by Fuchs and Harry Maguire, who's gone across from centre half. And now it's with Gundogan. Gundogan tries to find Danilo. Danilo being instructed by Pep Guardiola, just give it to Kev. Just give it to Kev down here. Back to halfway it goes. So
can't blame him, can you?
No.
Usually when you go through, something happens.
Laporte sends it wide right. Silva goes into the area on his left foot, teases the ball towards the far post. It wasn't that far away, you know. He clipped it into the air and it was dropping all the way as it reached the goal and just floated behind, narrowly wide.
He's been impressive in his little cameo today, Silva. Tends to utilise the ball quite well, quite efficient in possession. And as he shows there, cuts in on that left foot and threatens the goal. He's nicked a couple of goals in his short Man City career, especially without David Silva, who I think if they're going to go and win the quadruple, they need David Silva fully fit and back, because he's a game winner. You know, he opens it up, he allows everybody else the space to play, and he tends to always select the right pass at the right moment.
Indeed, he's just been booked.
Keep getting
for
bribed here with
on,
chocolate
Gundogan.
eclairs.
What?
Keep getting bribed. People keep passing chocolate eclairs to me.
Is that the fare that you get in the Tunnel Club behind us? Is it just chocolate eclairs?
No. I think it's just the fact that I spent 9 years here, didn't I? I think they just think they should bung me some chocolate eclairs. Did they not know I'm working, Sam?
Here is De Bruyne lifting the cross into the box from the free kick, which was given in midfield against Ndidi, who's been booked. It's picked up by Fernandinho, who wanders down into the left wing position. He loses the ball, bamboozled himself there. Simpson manages to clear. Mahrez, with that dyed blonde hair, sends it back to Simpson, clips it into the air, and it's headed away by Otamendi, and rather easily Manchester City, who now appear to be in cruise control, just pop the ball around on halfway and keep possession once again. 27 minutes gone in the second half. We're at minute 72 of the 90, and it's Manchester City who lead by 3-1. Here is Aguero. Out to the right, he's looking for his hat-trick.
Oh yeah, thank God he's on hat-trick. Been quiet, hasn't he, Aguero, really?
Apart from those 2 goals.
Yeah.
There he is again, touching it out towards the right side for Silva. Then on to Kevin De Bruyne. Back to the right side and Walker again. Happy to just play around with it on that right side. They're keeping Leicester at bay. Leicester are like almost, they're like a cat with a ball of string, aren't they? They're chasing it everywhere, but they just can't get hold of it. Here is Danilo, moving towards the left-hand side and finding Sterling. Back into Danilo again. He looks up and just calmly plays it into Aymeric Laporte, who after his little wobble earlier is being eased into action here in Manchester City colours. Oh, he's had another wobble.
I'm not
he's
sure
fallen
about
over.
It, I'm really not sure
He's
about
given the ball to Mahrez, who's escaped away now and runs past Gundogan, gets towards the edge of the area. Gundogan brings him down, free kick. That's a yellow card against Gundogan. The first Manchester City player to go into the book. I kept him in my fantasy team, so that's -2 points.
It happens, mate. It happens. Yeah, he's looked a bit. I'm 50. What was it? 54, 57 million. Laporte, 58 million.
It was a lot of money.
57.
57 million quid.
It's a strange body shape, isn't he? Do you know?
Pep says he made an excellent impression in his first game against West Brom and in the brief training sessions he's had with him.
West Brom are bottom of the league. Don't get too carried away off your performance against West Brom. It's how you're going to play against Barcelona. It's how you're going to play against Bayern Munich if they end up playing them.
Club record signing?
Yeah, do you know, but I'm not being bodyist here because I know all the PC brigade, they go, Matt, he's just a strange shape for me.
Bodyist, is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know, I've just made it up. I don't want even. But, you know, if you say anything like someone's got rather large ankles or something, there's always some...
Oh, they're called cankles, don't go down there.
There's always someone kicking off over that. Start going mad and starting petitions.
Well, we still haven't had the free kick in between, Tom. We might have it now. Here's Brighton, who lifts the ball into the box. It's kept in at the far side by Maguire, who turns and just shoots the ball goalwards. Was he better off? I don't know, actually. I mean, waiting and then trying to turn it back into the air rather than the near post. He went to the near post, it went into the side net, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And it's all a bit of a waste, really.
Yeah, he's a big, tall boy, Laporte. But he just looks. He looks very much bottom heavy. Quite big backside, quite big legs compared to his top. And there's a couple of times he's been isolated, particularly for the Vardy goal. And I know he can make you look stupid, Jamie Vardy, but just looked a little bit flat-footed, a little bit cumbersome.
It will take him a little bit of time to get into the rhythm of the Premier League. You and I were having a discussion about the intensity of it and how nowhere else is like it. It is unbelievable in terms of intensity and tempo. As you know, some big name players who've come into the league have found out even recently. But Harry Maguire's not got the most conventional body shape, has he?
No, but he's not playing for Man City. We haven't paid 57 million for him. I mean, I know he's 20 mil, but that's kind of going rate now for the top division player. But you're talking about, you know, the most expensive defender, is he?
I think he's the most expensive player that Manchester City have bought.
Okay. I mean, look, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he's got a slop. He's just a strange shape, is what I'm saying to you, Sam. If you look at him now, he's not athletic looking. Where, you know, you look at Stones warming up here. Stones looks like a racehorse. Big, long, athletic limbs on him. Maybe he will develop into that. Laporte, he's got time on his side.
Well, one of the things you mentioned to me earlier was De Bruyne didn't look that great before Pep got hold of him. Here's Aguero round the corner, sends the ball goalwards, takes a deflection by James, who got in front of him, and it's behind and away. And it's
I think Aguero was the same. I think Aguero's dropped a lot of body fat. Certainly looks that way to me. Kevin De Bruyne certainly has. And I think that's the demands on a Pep Guardiola player. If you play in Pep's side, we've seen the intensity Walker worked after the third goal. You've got to be able to put a shift in and carry an excess body weight, mate. You can't do that. I think Laporte will be. I think you'll see him.
Gundogan deep cross towards the far post. Otamendi is there on the volley and sends it straight into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel, and a chance to escape on the counter-attack for Iheanacho. I forgot he was playing. He runs the ball down the right-hand side, sends it for Jamie Vardy to try and get in front of Ederson. Good goalkeeping by Ederson. Came out, used his hands, timed his intervention perfectly, and just fingered it away from the England striker.
Yeah, how many times we've seen Jamie Vardy just get there, get his toe on that, and allow the keeper's momentum to win himself a penalty. Ederson's so fast off his line. He reads the game so well there, Sam, that he's probably denied Vardy a goal scoring opportunity, or maybe, you know, a lesser keeper. We've seen many of them come out and bundle into Vardy and give him a penalty, and he's, as I say, it's his reading of the game, and their most important signing of the season for sure.
Oh, it's given away by Schmeichel straight to Aguero, who chips him and scores his third hat-trick of the season. An absolute Casper calamity. He tried to kick it clear. It was a terrible attempt at a clearance. He gave it straight to the Argentine, who needed no invitation to complete his hat-trick and make it 4-1 to Manchester City. It's a meltdown from Leicester City's Danish goalkeeper on his return to Manchester City. It's Manchester City 4, Leicester City 1.
Well, if Ederson Moraes thinks he can play centre midfield, Kasper Schmeichel, based on that, certainly can't. I mean, he's tried to break the line with a pass, but it's 4 yards away from its intended receiver, and he passes it into a lane where Aguero reads it, and after that, I mean, it's a great finish from Aguero, just dinks it over him because he comes out chasing his mistake. But we're seeing the difference between a keeper who can actually play football as an outfield player and he's comfortable on it, and then a goalkeeper who I wouldn't say Kasper's bad with his feet, but he's certainly not at the level of Ederson Moraes, and maybe he's looked down the other end of the pitch and thought, if he can play football, I can. Well, the answer to that, Kasper, is no, you can't.
We're going to have a substitution here for Manchester City in just a second, their second of the night. But Sergio Aguero with his 27th goal of the season, his third hat-trick. He scored in each of the last 7 games here. The last 7 games here, which is his best run in a City shirt. And in that time, he's got 13 goals.
He usually takes Aguero off and puts Bernardo Silva up front. So I think with one eye on Wednesday night, what did he do?
God. I have never seen a free kick as bad as that. The free kick over on the left-hand side has been given to Manchester City, to Leicester City. It's been tapped by Mark Albrighton, back to Christian Fuchs, who has somehow, with everybody, all his defenders moved up towards the edge of the penalty area waiting for a delivery, sent what was attempted, I think, to be a square ball behind whoever it was he was trying to play it to, and it goes out behind him and away for a throw-in. It was awful, and it just sums up the second half for Leicester City, who have dragged themselves back in the game in the first half and thrown it away in the second. Substitution for Manchester City. Here's Dom McGuinness.
Well, it's Fernandinho who's had a great ovation leaving the pitch, and a young fella who gets a great ovation coming on is the lad from down the road in Stockport, the City fan, Phil Foden, a real English prospect. He makes his way on, so Aguero stays on. Aguero, interestingly, was making his way to the touchline. As it is, he's taken the armband off Fernandinho again.
And he's embarrassing Dragovic and going down the left-hand side. Ndidi brings him down. The referee says no foul, and therefore no second yellow card for Wilfred Ndidi, who must have had his heart in his mouth when he saw Aguero go to ground. The referee is eventually given a free kick in Leicester City's favour, just short of the centre circle. But Mike Jones, with a little glance, seemed to think that was no foul on Aguero. What was your view?
I think he got lucky. I think he just tread on the back of Aguero's boot, and from Mike Jones's angle, he didn't see it. It would have been a harsh sending off, Sam. Very, very harsh sending off. But I think the referees should have given Sergio Aguero and Manchester City a foul there, because he was clearly impeded by Wilfred Ndidi. Here's Otamendi coming off now. I don't want to rob Dom's thunder, so where's Dom? Has he gone for a prawn sarnie? Where is he?
I'm here, don't worry about that, Joe. Stones is on, so Laporte will stay on. So Stones and Laporte will have a little, 10 minutes or so together at the back for Manchester City. And interestingly as well, Aguero. Sam up there, are you still wearing that one glove look? Because Aguero's only wearing the one glove at the moment as well.
Oh, yeah.
Such a weird look.
Yeah, the one glove.
I don't get it. Is one of your hands hotter than the other one, Sam?
No, I just have to use a pen with one hand. I can't do that with my glove on.
Well, you get a normal pair of gloves instead of them alpine skiing gloves. You know, it's Pyongyang at the Winter Olympics, mate. In Manchester.
Well, in some areas it is quite cold, and I'm outside probably 5 nights a week.
Why don't you get the last of the summer wine, compo ones, the fingerless ones?
I used to have those, but the tops of your fingers die halfway through the game.
All right. So I need to tell you after this attack a little story.
Okay, here's Sterling onto Foden. Foden clips it in towards the edge of the area, and Maguire strides away from Aguero and takes it up to halfway. Vardy on his bike down the right side, but the ball wasn't great from Maguire. Cut out by Laporte, and De Bruyne has it. Story, go.
Well, firstly, I just want to say Laporte a couple of times has had to open his legs to get back in on Vardy, and he's actually looked a lot more athletic than he did in the first half. Maybe he heard my talking about his composition of his body, mate. But anyway, when you were talking earlier about me being in a tunnel club,
yes,
and you were trying to leave a bit on me, saying it was like Prawn-Sarnie Brigade, etc., which it wasn't. But anyway, when you was doing that,
you didn't bring me anything out the day you did come and see me at half time.
No.
Yes, you did. You didn't bring me anything out, did you? You come and see me.
You told me you're on a diet. You keep the fitness and all that. You keep putting all these gym things on your Instagram and all that. So I don't want to tempt you.
Go on. Anyway.
Oh, we are.
Hold on a second. Laporte and Vardy head to head. I mean, the ball's being played around the back four by Manchester City, so nothing is happening. And then there was a yellow card for both of them.
What's Vardy doing?
Because Vardy has just pushed his head into Laporte.
Fantasy football points going up in smoke here.
Dear, oh dear.
You were complaining about Godoygan. Yeah, I don't know what else. Handbags in it.
Anyway, finish your story quickly.
So anyway, I'm in the tunnel club. I'm coming back for the second half from the toilet, and I get stopped by a young kid who asked me for a photograph. So get me forward, talk with him. And it was Phil Foden. I'm like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Shouldn't I be getting me photo took with you? And yeah, he's obviously a Manchester City fan. Yeah. Can you remember me playing for City? And caught me by surprise, really, mate.
Well, he...
especially if he goes on to fulfil his potential.
Well, everyone hopes that he should do, because he's an Englishman who is very, very talented. I've seen him a few times in the youth team. Here on the right side, though, is Gundogan, who moves towards the edge of the area, plays it back towards Bernardo Silva. It's cut out by Fuchs, who clears it away out towards the far side. Dom, you were closer to that Jamie Vardy, Aymeric Laporte incident than we were. How nasty was it, or was it a bit of handbags?
That was absolutely nothing, to be honest with you. It was a coming together, the legs kind of tangled. Laporte kind of just caught Vardy a little bit. He turned and just kind of went in the face of Laporte, who looked a bit more stunned than anything else. They're coming together, absolutely nothing in it, and just a bit of silliness, really.
Foden tries to send the ball through the eye of a needle, almost managed to thread it as well. Given back to Aguero by Simpson. Aguero out to the left. Here's Raheem Sterling onto his right foot. Foden turning and shooting. The offside flag was up before it reached him. I think it was from the previous phase of play for Raheem Sterling that the flag has gone up over on the far side, and it's a free kick to Leicester City. Manchester City 4, Leicester City 1 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. You can get the Sky Sports app with enhanced features, including a timeline function allowing you to check out the key incidents during Premier League matches. 4-1 the score here. Foden, as we were saying, a real talent. I've done the FA Youth Cup for a number of years now, and he is... I mean, he's a fantastic little player, and he was lighting that up. Although I was also in the bar after the game that they lost at Chelsea last year.
It's a shock.
Yeah, of course. He came in afterwards to see his mum and his dad, and he gave his mum the medal. I don't want that. Don't want second place. Here is Silva down the right-hand side, sending the ball back into De Bruyne, who shoots.
So
into
what are
the
you
top
saying
of the stand.
Are you saying he's a spoiled little brat, or are you insinuating
No, I'm saying that's a great attitude. I don't want a second place. I want first place. That's right, isn't it? We want winners.
Yeah,
he's a winner.
If you finish second, you should still be happy with it. I don't like that. People giving. It's hard to finish second.
Yeah, but he wants to be the best of the best, and I admire that attitude.
Yeah, it's all good and well, but you can come across like a little bit of a brat.
It was no, I don't think it was like that.
Well, you would. That was the way you positioned that towards me. Like
no, that's the way you interpret it.
Maybe
just told
because you were half cut in the bar that you haven't got that done properly.
It was before the fitness regime, so it's probably true. There is a free kick to Leicester City, whose second half has been a bit like they've been half cut, to be honest with you. They haven't...
A bit more than that. I think Claude Poole, some of the decisions he's made, you want to breathalyse him after the game, because he hasn't helped himself. Hasn't helped his team.
4 minutes to go before the end of the match. It's 4-1 to...
Or Kasper Schmeichel.
Careful, Deck the producer's having a heart attack here again. The free kick is for Leicester City over on the left-hand side. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah. It's got lost, hasn't it, in the world now? Sense of humour, it's gone.
Brighton to take the free kick over on the far side. Oh, he's going to leave it. He's going to run away for it. Leave it to Mahrez, who gives it back to Christian Fuchs.
As bad as the one
gives
that took
it to Sterling. And then Brighton chips it towards the goalkeeper. Ederson just plucks it out of the sky, and it's cleared upfield. And it's not very good from Leicester City at all. But that's a brilliant delivery by Ederson, right over the top of the Leicester City defence, and he almost reached Sergio Aguero.
I'm not joking. I know he's only been here a short time, and at risk of getting a little bit carried away, he's got to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Sterling takes over, moves it down towards the left edge of the area, onto Danilo. Danilo tries to go beyond Simpson. Good tackle by him, and it's out towards this near side, and Kevin De Bruyne will retrieve it. 4-1, a majestic performance from Manchester City, whose next game is away at Basel. They follow that up with Wigan away. That's live on TalkSport. Arsenal in the Cup final. That's live on TalkSport. Then Arsenal on a Thursday night. Chelsea at home, and then Stoke City away. Is that Chelsea game live on TalkSport as well? I think it is, isn't it? Chelsea here? I think it is. Can't remember.
It must be nice though, Sam, when you can just offer 60-70 million for Mahrez off the back of paying 57 mil for the defender.
But they wouldn't buy him because they thought that 90 million was too expensive. They're being prudent with the money.
All right. It's a bit late for that when you're 730 odd million in.
At 450 million they've spent since Pep arrived.
Okay. And he is a super coach, no doubt about it. This is more than just buying top players and slotting them in, as Man United are finding out. There's a lot more to it than that, but it does help to be able to go out and spend 50 million on a fullback, 30 million on another fullback, a cover fullback, and then 50 million on a left back, and then go and spend nearly 60 million on a centre half and 40 million on a keeper. I mean, it does make the game a little bit easier.
It does indeed, and they're making the Premier League look pretty easy at the moment. They're about to go 16 points clear at the top of the table.
I'm surprised they don't just have the finger now.
Some bookmakers have already paid out.
Yeah, well, show you, it's over. Nobody is getting back to this City side. They're not going to lose enough games, and everybody else has got to be perfect. It's a done deal. Yeah, the challenge for them is, can they go and
break
do
all the
quadruple?
Records?
Can they go and do it?
Don McGuinness has just sent a message up via carrier pigeon to the back of the stand here. It says goals in 2018. Aguero 12, Chelsea 12. Yeah, well, the Chelsea have got their own problems, and we brought you that live game on Monday night when they were abysmal against Watford, and that was live on TalkSport. And we'll do them next Friday night when we do the FA Cup fifth round game, Chelsea against Hull.
Will Antonio Conte be at the helm?
Next Friday?
Yeah.
Probably next Friday.
Are you okay? So if they lose to West Brom Monday night?
No, if they lose on Monday night, there's no chance.
So well, that's obviously Monday. It goes Monday. The week starts Monday, and then it goes to Friday. Sam, it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Here's Foden, who knows exactly what day it is, running down the left-hand side, getting past the defender Ndidi, and then past Simpson, sending it back to Aguero, edge of the area. He's going for his fourth goal, gets it with an absolute belter. He almost rips the crossbar out of the floor with an unbelievable humdinger, which hits the underside of the bar, bounces down into the net. It's 5-1 for Manchester City, a fourth goal for Aguero, who has been outstanding with his finishing. And Manchester City have puffed out their chest in this second half and said, have some of that. It's 5-1.
Well, we were talking about Kevin De Bruyne's pass earlier on, Sam, saying it was beyond world class. As soon as Phil Foden plays the ball to Aguero there, Foden had gone for the 1-2, but Aguero had nothing other than pulling the trigger in mind. I mean, it goes in over Kasper Schmeichel's head in the middle of the goal, but you can't lay any blame at his door. I mean, the power, the ferocity he hits the ball with, and the dip and swerve he gets on it, for me, it's got to be up there with goals of the season. It's an unbelievable strike.
He hits it with the precision of a laser-guided missile and the speed of 1-2. It was unstoppable for Kasper Schmeichel, and it's Manchester City 5, Leicester City 1. And don't forget that you can watch all the goals, including that huge Sergio Aguero goal, and all the highlights as well on the Sky Sports app from the Premier League at no extra cost if you're a Sky TV customer with Sky Sports.
I'm just seeing the replay back here. Some strike from Aguero.
Here's Vardy at the other end, trying to get on the end of a cross from the right, which is lifted towards him. He nudges it down, but it's an easy stop